Okay, here we are, ready to go. Game one, Fulton and Langley. Partner right here, ready to rock and roll. Let's do it. All right. Hey, get down to BC Place, watch some football. Let's go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to BC Place Stadium for some BC High School playoff football, the Subway Bowl Championships. I'm Mike Stoneberg here with Jay Prepchuk. Jay, welcome. Good morning.
Hey, this is great. BC Place, you gotta love it. BC Place, every year we get back to BC Place, and I was down on the field before the game. The coaches are excited. The players are certainly excited. I'm excited.
I'm jacked.
Let's rock and
I'm
roll.
running off 4 hours sleep, but I'm still jacked. This is awesome. Love the highlight of life for their lives for these kids to play at BC Place. Such a big stadium. It's just highlight of their lives. We got Clarence Fulton Maroons versus the Langley Saints. Langley in the green and yellow jerseys. Clarence Fulton in the white and maroon jerseys. Clarence Fulton will receive the opening kickoff from my left to my right. We're just waiting here for...
Yeah, we got Jamie Graham, got a great staff. Of course, the great referee staff. Jamie Graham is lead referee today, and of course in the playoffs we have all-star referee crews as well. So again, looking forward to a great football game.
Looks like Josh Goosen will be kicking it off. Man of many talents here on this team. A nice high line drive kick here, fielded at about the 15-yard line. It's going to fall to the far side, and he's going to be finally tracked down on the play by Hayden Horan, and that was number 22 for Fulton, and that's Seth Pallister.
Yeah, you know, these kids, are, like we said, they're all jacked up. They're ready to go. And, you know, with special teams especially, we've got a lot of kids that are playing on special teams, the kickoff team that maybe not starters, right? They're guys that, you know, only play on special teams. So this is their chance to shine. And right away on the opening kickoff, the Saints did a great job of covering that kickoff.
You are correct on that one. And we had one injured Langley Saint on the play, and that was number 35, Charlie Ward, making it off on his own power there, so hopefully he's all right and back out in the field anytime. Under the center it will be Quinn Williamson, single back up the middle, and he breaks a couple tackles and he's dragging a couple people, almost a first down. Good 9-yard gain there for Quinn Williamson, right up the middle on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, Williamson, one of the fine athletes for the Maroons this year, and just right from the start going against that 40 defense of the Saints, 4 down linemen, nobody right over the center, so they just decided to sneak it, and what a big pickup, especially on a quarterback sneak of 9 yards on first down. Good start for the Maroons.
Great play call too, just a straight up quarterback keeper, follow the center. Now in the shotgun single back formation, trips to the far side. Williamson drops back to pass, looks on the outside, has a receiver, and that's number 11, Hayden Catt, and he's breaking a couple tackles, dragging a couple more people, and a big scrum at around the 34-yard line. That's where they'll stop him. First down, Maroons.
Yeah, I got a chance to get down on the field before the game, and that was the exact play that they were working on. And it's a great play to start a football game, just getting the ball out quickly. The Langley Saints on that particular play rushed one of the inside linebackers who was unblocked, but good job of Williamson to get that ball away quickly and pick up a first down for the Maroons.
And I will correct myself. It is Dominic Pedersen. That's the that's the quarterback. Correction, sorry about that. Dominic, back into the shotgun, single formation, trips to the near side here. Handoff here to the running back. And nice tackle there by number 8. And I don't have a number 8 on here. Sorry. For the Langley roster I have. But that was a great tackle there on the corner on running back. Again, a little missing the number here. Only a gain of 2, so it'll be second and about 8 here from the 36-yard line.
Right, also a big play by number 45, Kieran Davies, outstanding defensive player for the Langley Saints. I've had a chance to coach Kieran for many, many years, and nice to see him develop and you know, grow up to be he's a fine young man, and he's a great football player. Good job of getting in on the tackle on that particular play.
Shotgun formation, single back. Looks like Langley going to bring a steady 4-man rush here. Rolls out to the far side. He's looking for a receiver. He's got nobody. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to run. He breaks one tackle and pushed out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. That was Quinn Williamson this time. That was number 19.
Yeah, it looked like they're going to alternate quarterbacks between the two. But, certainly a rollout to the left-hand side and good patience by the quarterback on that particular play not to throw the ball into coverage and pick up a couple of yards, bringing up a third down and 4 yards. So, again, the first drive of the game, of course, is always very, very important for any football team, especially when you're kind of the underdogs, as the Maroons are in this game.
And Williamson getting under center again with a single back. Fakes hand, gets it off to number 28, and that is Ryan Sadiq. And he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Might even lost a yard there. And, yeah, he did lose a yard, and it's going to be, should be four.
Yeah, we're going to bring up fourth down.
Fourth down here.
Punting situation. Yeah. Definitely. And, on that particular play, just kind of an inside trap, trying to catch those, quick penetrating defensive linemen of the Saints, but just too much penetration by all four of the defensive linemen of the Saints, doing a great job of actually, as you said, a loss of 1 yard on the play, bringing up a punting situation from the Maroons.
Oh, almost blocked there, and this will be number 23, Trenton Warren, back to receive the kick, and he's not going to get a chance as it's going to roll out of bounds at the Langley 30-yard line, and that's where they'll start with their first possession.
Yeah, and you're going to see, I just talked to Coach Sandor down on the field before the game, and he said, Jay, don't expect too much of the passing game.
No.
And we know that. We've looked at, when you look at the statistics.
Oh, I got it right here. 8 for 15 for 79 yards over the year.
Yeah, exactly. And that's over the course of a year. So we're talking
games.
8 games in total. So, you know what? They're just going to be grinding it out. Why not? When you have a tailback like Kai Thomas, one of the most outstanding players in the province, they got a chance to shake his hand before the game and wish him luck, but they're coming out in an interesting formation here.
Shotgun 5 receivers here to the near side. And going to be a quarterback keeper here. Make a couple men miss, and he's going to drag one player, and that was Kai Thomas in that quarterback there. So like you said, Kai Thomas is going to run, like you said, you were just rifling off his stats there. Over 1,200 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns. So, definitely the Maroons can probably pack up the box here, expecting, maybe not any passes at all.
And definitely when I talked to Coach Scheller throughout the week, that's exactly what he said. Obviously we've got to stop the run and, look for them to blitz already. They've got all 11 men, up tight on the line of scrimmage trying to stop this Saints running game.
Yeah, only one receiver, and that's just Kai Thomas again. Dragging a couple people, breaks a tackle, and he might go. He's at the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, no flags, and that's Kai Thomas.
Wow, how about that to start the football game for Kai Thomas? Again, we spoke about Kai earlier, and just one of the outstanding players, for this, not only for this Saints team, but of course for this, in the province, and breaking a 65-yard run on the second play from scrimmage for the Langley Saints. Wow, what a way to start the offensive game for the Langley Saints here with a big 65-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, and you can't, if you're gonna pack the box, you got to make sure you stop Kai Thomas before he gets to that second window, and is able to break a couple tackles and scoot that off all the way down.
Yeah.
So with 8:37 to go, Langley gets the first score, and are now up 7-0 here on the Clarence Fulton Maroons, all the way from Vernon. That must have been a fun drive.
Yeah, well, I talked to, again, Coach Scheller. He was just getting on the bus yesterday at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and thankfully the weather cooperated. No snow on the Cocoa Hall for them coming down, and, again, they knew the challenge that they were going to face. They knew, when I talked to Coach Scheller, that, that obviously was the first thing that he talked about, right, is just the fact that Langley has, a massive size advantage. And when I got to, down on the field before the game and I took a look at those offensive linemen, Coach Piche for the Langley Saints, and Coach Sandor, who coaches the O and defensive lines for the Saints, said, look at these guys, right? These, we've got some kids over 300 pounds, and we're just going to continue to, run the football, do what we do best, and we saw that obviously right on the very first drive of the football game. But, 2 plays and 65 yards later, it's a touchdown for Kai Thomas.
Yeah, 2 Kai Thomas runs. He's got 70 yards rushing already on 2 carries. So we're going to wait for another Langley kickoff here, and this is Josh Goosen. And Goosen boots it over the touch too, over the head of Seth Pallister. He's going to run it up here on the near side. Nice little move. Better protect that ball though. He's holding that out there, little LaShawn McCoy style, and getting ready to almost lose that. Gets it back to about the 18-yard line, and that's where Clarence Fulton's second drive is going to start.
Yeah, that's one of the things, of course, special teams, how important special teams are in any football game, but especially in the playoffs. And, you can watch film and you can see a guy, his kickoffs or his punts, but once you get into BC Place and the atmosphere obviously is, much, much different, and in real life, sometimes it's tough to judge those kicks. And, good job by Goosen of line driving that football down to the 5-yard line.
Looks like we're going with Williamson again under center, which I have, stats-wise, I have Peterson as the dominant quarterback. But this is Williamson dropping back to pass over the middle, and he hits Siddiqui for a good completion of about 7 yards.
Yeah, good play action pass on first down. Nice job by the Maroons. Good execution. They're actually, their offense is executing fairly well so far in this football game, and so important right now for the Maroons to get something going on offense. They know when they give the ball back to the Saints, they're just going to get a steady feed of Thomas running the ball up the middle. So ball control, they've got to try to control the ball. Again, that's what Coach Scheller said. They've got to try to pass the ball effectively.
Yeah, use the run and the pass here in the shotgun. Single back formation, 2 receivers here to the near side. Langley looking like they're going to bring the blitz, and they jump a little early, and that's going to give Fulton the first down. And that's something that as Langley you don't want to be doing right now. You have the lead. Don't give them a first down, especially when they're backed up in their own end.
Yeah, it looks like the Langley Saints have, they want to bring some pressure from the inside linebackers again in a traditional 4-2, 4-4 kind of look. The outside linebackers are walked out a little bit to cover the slot back receivers, and you got those 2 inside linebackers again, led by the leading tackler in Kieran Davies with 61 tackles this year.
And he was the one that did jump offside. Getting a little eager there. He's got to hold his water on that blitz, but Langley trying to show something and make Williamson here a little bit not as comfortable in the pocket as he has been in the first little bit here. 7:07 and counting here early in the first quarter. Langley up 7-0. It looks like Davies is going to bring a blitz again. Little motion here. Siddiqui and fakes that. Oh, he's going to hand it off, and he's going to be stuffed behind the line. And that was Dylan Wappel. And it was Kieran Davies with the tackle in the backfield. There's a flag down here on the near side.
Yeah, we're probably going to get procedure against Clarence Fulton again. Of course, in American football, when you're motioning somebody across, you can only have one person in motion at one time. So the motion man went across. It looked like there might have been a little bit of early motion from another one of the players, but they're gonna wave it off.
They're gonna wave it, yeah.
Which again, Langley probably would have declined that penalty anyway. So. Good job again. We're going to be mentioning Kieran Davies' name a lot, and why not when you've got a guy that's that size. Again, Kieran, a great kid. He's
6'2", 225.
6'2", 225, and boy, I tell you, he can run, and he is a physical football player.
So 2nd and 11 here from just inside the Fulton 30, and Williamson in the shotgun formation trips receivers to the near side here. And he's going to roll out to the near side looking for a receiver. He throws underneath and low to number 28, and that's Rian Siddiqui.
Yeah, nice job by the Saints. You can tell that, teams have done their homework. And as soon as Clarence Fulton breaks the huddle, you can see the Saints players talking and pointing. And, that's a good indication that, they are prepared. Obviously, it's a long week this time of the year. It's a grind. I mean, I've been through it many, many times. It's a grind to go through this type of situation, and again, good job by Coach Piché Sandor to have his guys ready to play football today.
Shotgun formation, trips receivers to the near side again. 3-man rush here from Langley, it looks like, and Williams is going to keep it, but he's going to be dragged back, and he's going to be sacked. The first one to get him was number 8, it looked like. And I don't have a name on him. I have a 5 and a 9. I don't have an 8, though.
We'll have to try to get get down to the announcer's booth and talk
Dallas
to
Pattenden was also in on the tackle there, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So another punt for Fulton. Another looked like promising drive, stalls early, and back to receive. It looks another nice high booming kick and returnable here for Langley. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, and that is number 20. 22, I believe. It was Goosen, or was it 23? 23, sorry, correction. And that was Trenton Warren. Nice little return inside Clarence Fulton territory. So to be 1st and 10 here from about the 39.
So again, early in the second or kind of midway through the first quarter, it's excellent field position. This is exactly what Langley wanted to start this football game, and it comes up a big situation here for the defense for the Maroons.
And you're sure for the Maroons they did not want to get into this. Field position not in their favor right now, and you knew that here comes Kai Thomas on the pitch to the outside, breaks one tackle and still going, and brought down by a herd of Maroons at about the 34-yard line. And that'll bring up about a 2nd and 4. And there's a flag on the far side.
Might have a hold usually when we see a point of attack,
especially on
type toss like that. Yeah, exactly.
Especially on a toss play, it's more than not, it's a hold. And it is a hold, and they're going to be moving back here. So it should be 1st down and good long, let's say 18 from the Maroon 40. Let's go 47, 48. Without the
I know it's tough when
tough
the numbers are not.
You're kind of like, I don't know. That looks about the 48.
Midfield. Let's go with midfield.
Yeah, midfield. And it's Kai Thomas on the misdirection, and he's going to be caught up that time, only gaining about a couple yards there, and that was number 77, Quade Willett. Met him first and was able to wrap him up, and that's the one thing I think Fulton's got to do with Kai Thomas is they can't try to blow him up. They got to wrap him up and then gang tackle him at that point.
Yeah, exactly. A little misdirection by the Saints, but a good job of Quade to stay home and not allow, just to stay in his gap and maintain leverage, and nice job on that tackle. That's exactly what the Maroons want to do, is put the Saints in long yardage situations.
5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Langley up 7-0. Langley in the green jerseys, Fulton in the white. This will be Kai Thomas, the far side. He's got some room off tackle there. He's still going. He cuts back up, cuts it back out, and he's tripped up there by number 11, Hayden Catt. Hayden Catt just saved a touchdown there because Kai Thomas had all day outside there if he had gotten away from Hayden there.
Yeah, nice job running along the right-hand side. And again, Coach Piché said that one of our best players, our right tackle at 6'4", 300 pounds, at Dayton
That's how I would. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Yeah.
But a good job by Dayton at right tackle to open up a big hole again. 6'5", 300 pounds, playing right tackle for the Saints. Nice job opening up that hole.
Goosen handing it off here, and this is Trenton Warren, and he breaks a couple tackles. Going to wrap up there by number 12, Jensen Peterson, and that's going to be enough for another Langley 1st down. So Langley getting a good drive here, and it'll be 1st and 10 here from the Fulton 16-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Trenton Warren, and he had a good season as well. Well over 260 yards, 8.2-yard average, and 4 touchdowns this year. So again, good job by Trenton Warren running off left tackle.
And you got to have someone that can run off of Kai Thomas, because you can't just give it to Kai Thomas every time. It's predictable, and the better team, the good teams, like you will see here in the playoffs, will be able to stop that.
Yeah.
And that was Hershad Juhal.
Yeah, there's another guy over in, Hershad, big, strong football player, big, strong legs, 5'10", 225 pounds. How would you like to have to tackle that guy?
No. I'm okay.
That would be,
yeah.
You can maybe cover him in basketball,
yeah.
but I don't know if you
Yeah,
can,
I don't know about,
unless you post up on
I hated the big guys running when I was a DB back in my old days. So this is Hershad's back up the middle, and Hershad's going to score. Touchdown, Juhal. And Langley scores again with 3:40 to go. Up now 13-0 over the Clarence Fulton Maroons.
Yeah, another great drive. Just pound the rock, and that's exactly what the Langley Saints have been doing all season. And just, it's nice to see, as you said, it's nice to see different guys carrying the ball, right? It's nice to see Hershad with a couple of touches. Nice to see Trenton Warren a couple of catches as well. So, nice job by the Saints. And interesting for the Saints to come out in a couple of different types of formations, right? They started again with kind of a 5 receivers to the left-hand side, and kind of an interesting formation with a quarterback sweep, and then they've come back with their regular double tight, full house, 3 guys in the backfield. Then they come out in that series with a trips to the left-hand side. So again, those are all different formations that are completely different from each other. So it's very difficult for a defensive coordinator. It's very difficult for a defense to make sure that you get aligned properly, because again, as we said, discipline is just so important in this football game. And again, the Maroons, you know what? They're tough kids. They hit hard. That's kind of been their trademark over the last many years. But when you run up against a team that has an offensive line that's averaging 270, 280 pounds, it's very difficult to especially when you have, you're in BC Place. Again, conditions are perfect, no wind.
And you're far from home, and you had to travel all day to get here yesterday, so you didn't sleep in your own bed. So some of these kids might have been up all night, right?
Yeah, there's a couple pillow fights.
Yeah, and the angst of just getting ready to play. You're getting ready to play in BC Place. So
well, you probably would remember, Mike. I mean, same for me. There wasn't much sleep for me the night before the game. I always said to myself, it was 2 nights before the game that I really needed my sleep, right? Because you know what, I wasn't going to sleep the night before a game, that's for sure.
It's worse as a coach, because I'm up. I go to bed the night before a game, and I'm thinking about the game plan already, and I can't sleep. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure no one was sleeping in those hotel rooms last night. So Maroons here after the after the kickoff, the missed extra point. So Langley up 13-0 with 3:34 to go here in the first quarter, and Clarence Fulton starting at their own 19. So again, good field position for Langley, pushing Fulton back with inside their 20. And this is Williamson under center and 3 receivers to the near side here. And it looks like Davies is going to come on a blitz again. And they're going to run a screen here, and that is to number Dylan Wapple. And he looks like he's going to carry a guy well past the first down marker. So Clarence Fulton's done a really good job of on their first down, the first plays of a drive. They're good at getting a first down either on the first down or the second down. But then this is where the drive stalls now. They gotta do something to get this drive going, because they got to do something about this field position. Yeah, exactly. And Coach Scheller is doing a great job of calling exactly the offense that I would run here. Quick screens, wide receiver screens, middle screen on that particular play to the tailback. Nice job, great execution by the Maroons. 4-man rush here from Langley. Motion here, and that's Hayden Catt. Williamson drops back, looks over the middle, and just a little high over the head of Dominic Peterson. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Yeah, nice job. Just a quick drop and trying to hit Williamson on that post pattern, and just a little bit high. He's throwing throwing off his back foot just a little bit, but again, good coverage. The Langley Saints dropped back, and their linebackers did a good job of being disciplined into their zone coverage. Well, and like you were saying, their O-line's big too, but their D-line's most likely it's a AA school, so the size isn't that big. So some of these guys might even play in the D-line. You're throwing over 6'3", 6'2" guys. You got to put a little bit under that, a little bit more on that ball to get that over that first line. Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm very impressed, with the defense of the Saints. I mean, obviously we talk all year long about how effective their running game and Kai Thomas and their offensive line. But as you say, Mark Wise, the defensive coordinator for the Langley Saints, has done an excellent job. You can tell always when you watch especially early in a football game, and you can tell that the Saints, they're not running around on defense. They know exactly where to line up. They know exactly where to be. And that's just, preparation. Coach Piché and Coach Wise has his Saints ready to play today. Rashad Jewell was offside there, so it'll be 2nd and 5. And that's a carry there by Wapple. And we're blessed up here in the press box. The president, up here, and Mr. Gemmell. Nice to see these high-powered executive up here. Maybe they're checking up on us. They just wanted to see if we were sure we're doing our job right. If we were going here. So, President, fellas, good to see you. So 3rd down here. It'll be third and about 3 here from the Fulton 37-yard line. Williamson with some motion. Wapple rolls out, and they're going to do a little wide receiver screen. He's got to get outside, got to get that block there, and that's not going to happen. Liam Street's got to get that block on that corner there, and for that play to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. Again, good call by the Maroons there on second down. Just get the ball out quickly. Just a kind of a bubble screen look right there. But, the Langley Saints, the outside linebacker, is playing up real tight on the line of scrimmage. So it is difficult to maintain that block, and the corner did a nice job of coming up and making the play on that as well. So, if the Maroons have any kind of trickery or anything that they, maybe some, again, misdirection or some pump plays, some out and ups, now is certainly the time to do it. But fourth down, big gamble here.
This is a big gamble, and this is trying to switch the field of play here. Oh, Williamson scrambling. This might go for a first down. Nice little run there by Williamson. He's gonna drag a couple Langley Saints, and he's gonna be stopped here at about the 46-47 yard line, and that's a big gamble that works out for the Maroons.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly the play that they needed to get through this first quarter anyways, right? And you know what? I commend Coach Shellard on that call. Like, why not? If you're going to give the ball back to the Saints, it's going to be very, very difficult to stop them, right? So they're already, down by 2 touchdowns early in this football game. So, you know what? It's tough. And, again, a great job there showing there's athleticism and picking up that first down. So big first down for the Maroons.
Short shotgun formation again. Trips receivers to the far side. Wappel in the backfield with Williamson. Williamson's going to drop back, looks, and he's going to tuck it again. He's going to run. He's by himself over here. He's breaking a couple tackles. He takes a big hit there by Terrell Olsen, who came in there from the safety spot to lay a big hit there.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, folks, you know what? If you get a chance to get down to BC Place today, we've got lots of great games after this, of course. New Westminster and Lord Tweedsmuir, the next game up. That's going to be a great battle. They've already played once this year. Tweedsmuir defeated New West earlier in the season. I believe it was 15-6.
I have that, yeah.
That's one of the next upcoming games. Mount Doug, St. Thomas More. I mean, you couldn't draw it up any better. Kelowna, Vancouver College, and, into the evening we've got Notre Dame and South Delta. So, some excellent matchups, and we're going to be here for a while. We're going to be in these seats for a while. We got to get ourselves comfortable and so on. But, we're certainly looking forward to, a great day of football, obviously, if you get a chance. And also, tonight there's a big game out in Chilliwack. So at Exhibition Stadium, the GW Graham Grizzlies are out there hosting the Holy Cross Crusaders. So Holy Cross with a big win last week, and the Grizzlies with their fine program out there. Luke Atchison, the head coach of the Grizzlies, doing a fine job, and so lots of football to play. Congratulations to AA. Yesterday was a couple of AA playoff games. What do we have? Bolinas defeated Robert Bateman from Abbotsford. So congratulations to Danny Smith and Jeremy Kahn for their big victory. The Bolinas Whalers heading off into the semifinals next week against Vernon, who had a big victory yesterday against the Windsor Dukes. So big matchup next week. Boy, I tell you, Bolinas and Vernon in the semifinals.
There's also another big football game in BC today, and that's the old Rams going for the Canadian Bowl Championship. I'm an ex-Ram, so.
There you go, exactly.
So
the
junior
football
last night. Junior football, the Langley Rams now. When I played, it was Surrey and South Fraser, and now it's the Langley Rams. They take on these Saskatoon Hilltops at McLeod Stadium in Langley. Shotgun formation here. Williamson with the toss, and they're going to do a reverse here, and this is you're only going to get a yard or two. Sorry, that was number 23, Karen Malhotra, and on the reverse there gets a couple yards at least, and it'll bring up a third and about 5 from the Langley Saints 47, 48. So in Langley territory now.
Yeah, exactly, and great job by the Maroons. Like, why not? Like I said a few minutes ago, hey, you know what? Pull it out now. If you've got a double reverse, well executed. As you said earlier, the offense is executing well for the Maroons. They just got to keep, and that's one of the things Coach Schaller did say, is they got to kind of grind the clock a little bit, keep the ball away from the Langley Saints.
Shotgun snapping. Williamson's going to have no chance. He's got to break a couple tackles to get out of here, and he's not going to. Wrapped up there by number 18, Jordan Bowes, and Williamson's a little slow to get up there on this one, and Kieran Davies came, and I know you've been talking so highly of him today. Kieran Davies came right off the edge there and not even touched.
Yeah, exactly, and different blitz looks from the Saints. That time, Kieran Davies had been blitzing from the inside in the A and the B gap, and this time he came from the outside. Again, good job by Coach Wise to be changing up the defense. And again, Kieran Davies is just a sure presence today.
Oh, they're going to go for it. Dylan Wappel with the nice screen over the middle, and he's going to have some yards, a first down for sure. And he's going to be stopped finally at about the 33-yard line of Langley. Back-to-back fourth down gambles. But there is a flag on the play, so this might be coming back.
Oh, you know what? We might have a legal man downfield. So what oftentimes happens here is, those linemen can't be going downfield on a pass. And let's just see. Jamie Graham, again, a very experienced referee crew here. They're going to get together. They don't, of course, have the luxury of replay.
No,
it's nice that we have replay up here
for the viewers at home.
For us, not used to that. We've been doing games all year without the replay, so I'm going to have to kind of get used to watching that replay. But a very, very well executed kind of outside screen to number 33. Did a good job of picking up the first down. So, a little bit of trickery. The Maroons, you know what? Again, they're doing a great job.
And you called it. It was an elder man downfield.
He said, yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, that's going to that's going to be the call.
So they're going to obviously take the penalty and push them back and make them redo this. And now you've taken away that element of that fake punt surprise out of there. So.
Yeah, so that's going to pull him back, and again,
it was funny actually. Just before that, sorry, Jay, I didn't mean to cut you off. Right before he was about to kick it, I was thinking, well, you could count this as a win for the Maroons because they're going to change the field position here. They're still going to change the field position because you're only punting from your own 45-yard line here. So with a good kick here, they will definitely change the position, field position for themselves. So it'll be 4th and 12 now from about the 44-yard line, let's say, of the Maroons.
Probably going to see a kick here. I'll tell you, that's some expertise commentary.
Nice snap and a quick kick there, and this is caught at the 30 by number 23, and that's Warren. And Warren cuts it back up the middle, and he's going to be dragged down at about the 43-yard line. And a little bit of the old first down marker. He throws it out there.
Yeah, and Warren he's a solid football player. I was down there in the warm-up watching him, and he probably kind of just lives in the shadow a little bit of Kai Thomas, of course, right? But as we said earlier, Trenton Warren with a over 8-yard average and did a nice job. You can see he's a real shifty runner. Did a nice job of picking up 18 yards on the punt return.
And it's nice for Langley. They have 3 different backs, right? You have the
you
have the big bully back in Juhal. You have the shifty back in Warren. And then in Kai Thomas, you have both of those into a small back. So, it's kind of like you got the 3-headed horse. Like, what kind of back am I going to get? And especially when they put all 3 of them in the backfield there, that's got to confuse the defense.
No, we get a good shot right here of that offensive line. Boy, that offensive line is
big hoggies right there.
There are some big hoggies, but those guys are athletic. I'm telling you, they're a good-looking group.
And this will be Juhal up the middle, and it's going to be swarmed after about a 2-3-yard gain there.
Just like old Coach Durazio used to say. Remember when he was describing you? Who was he describing? Do you remember? A kid that I actually coached who's well retired from the offensive line in Dean Valley with the BC Lions.
Dean Valley.
Coach Durazio would be talking about the girth, and boy, that guy's got a good-looking body, good-looking girth. Right.
I love how Team 1040 would play that all the time.
He's
got a good-looking body.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, and if you haven't, Angus Reid wrote a book, and of course, the book that have you read? Angus'
No, I haven't read it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, great book, all about Coach Durazio and his fantastic coaching.
Oh, and they're gonna send Juhal outside. He just blows up a guy. Keeps going. He breaks another tackle. The thing about Juhal is he doesn't run away from the contact. He goes into the contact. He just blew up 3 guys there just to get a couple more yards. And Juhal just changed the field possession right there as they took it all the way down to the Fulton 23, 24-yard line.
Yes, and I tell you, does he a little Jerome Bettis?
I was just gonna say who? It's a little bit of like a little Bettis, and remember the name's slipping my head right now. The 30 for 30 on the best that never was. Jermaine Dupree.
Oh
little Jermaine Dupree in there
Marcus
too,
Dupree.
right? Marcus Dupree.
Marcus
sorry,
Dupree. There you
Marcus
go.
Dupree, right? So yeah,
that's a good name for the pass there, Coach. You're bringing that one out there.
It's one of my best. It's one of my most favorite 30 for 30s to watch. Is that Marcus Dupree one?
I think unfortunately his career ended in a sour note.
Yeah, and a sour note, but you know that's the
powerful guy though.
The
man.
title made all up for it, right? The man that never, the star that never was. So
a guy that you wouldn't remember, but you probably saw highlights because I think you're still a young pup. Is old Earl Campbell. I got to see.
Earl Campbell.
You saw highlights.
A little
of him
bit before my day. I'm only 40, so
yeah.
I'm getting there. But
I will say my age, but I tell you, I watched Earl Campbell growing up, and a lot of you folks at home, of course, remember Earl Campbell and those big thighs and churning it out for the Houston Oilers.
That's right. The old Houston Oilers with Warren Moon. And that'll be another first down here, and that was Trent Warren up on the left side off tackle, and it'll get it to about the 11-yard line. And see, that was the formation I was talking about right there when they have Trent Warren, Juhal, and Kai Thomas back there. That's got to confuse the defense because you don't know what you're going to get. You know, like if Juhal's getting the ball, you're gonna get a big punishing back coming through. But with Warren and Kai Thomas, you got speed and agility. And now you got all three of them in the back with Goosen under center. Hands it off to, this is Kai Thomas off the near side, up the middle, and touchdown. Flag coming down in late, though, in the backfield. So this might be a hold or a, yeah, and it is a hold against Langley. So that touchdown is not going to count. Kai Thomas just went in untouched, though, right off the tackle here on the near side.
Yeah, I tell you, Dayton at that right tackle position does a great job of opening up. But you know what? That's why football is such a great team sport. Not that basketball's not, Coach.
No, it is. No.
But
I'm both. So yeah.
With football, you know, of course, you know, there's a good replay of those offensive linemen kind of churning it out, and you know, a nice job again when you have, you know, those big 300-pound offensive linemen blocking, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have Joe Hall coming through there as a lead blocker, as a fullback. You know, that's pretty tough as a defense to defend that, right? So I mean, you know what? Boy, this Saints again team is tough, and you know, interesting formation there. They came out with their three running backs, but they split out the tight end. So again, kind of widening that defense out a little bit.
Yeah, can't put everybody in the box. The same thing here. They got Juhal in the backfield, and Juhal's going to run, cuts it back up the middle, cuts it to the far side, and he's going to scamper in the end zone. Touchdown, Rashad Juhal. Second touchdown of the game for Rashad, as he just scampered in on the far side after breaking a tackle here, and he just cut it back up the middle and went to the far side, and we got the replay here right for you. As you can see here, the missed tackle there by number 52, Inahag, and, you know, Rashad Juhal just cut it back up and had that whole far side wide open into the end zone.
You know, Inahag has had a great season for Dayton, has number 52 for Clarence Fulton, the leading tackler for their football team with 67 tackles. And, you know, he probably has not seen a back like Joe Hall before. And he was, you know, excellent position. He was right there at the line of scrimmage and ready to make the tackle. And, you know, again, just that strength and that power by Joe Hall was, you know, able to, you know, he was able to bust that tackle. I mean, that tackle was right at the line of scrimmage, right? So, you know, it could have brought up, obviously, a 2nd and 10 situation.
So
but
Juhal brings him up. You would know this kid. He an ex-Windsor running back. Let's see.
Dallas Hunt.
Dallas Hunt.
There
I played with Dallas Hunt. And I was just thinking about that. I was like, you know what? Rashad Juhal just reminds me a lot of the Dallas Hunt. And I remember I played on the rounds with him. Yep. He was coming in while I was coming out because I was getting old. Yeah, definitely a type of Dallas Hunt type back.
Oh,
and we're
Dallas
finally
Hunt,
seeing it again here in the high school.
Love that guy. Maybe Dallas might even be listening. I talked to him a little bit on social media once in a while, and great career. You know, of course, he played with Dean Valley. Speaking of Dean Valley, and you know, great memories with the Windsor Dukes. I spent 11 years there, and we were fortunate enough to get to 5 championships, and 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, and then I went off to UBC after that. But again, Dallas kind of continued on right after that, but he was in his younger days, grade 8. You know, when I was still at Windsor, and you could tell that Dallas maybe a little bit taller, but you know, probably in grade 8 was about 210 pounds, and by the time he got to grade 12, he was about 230. But he could run and shift, and you know, just cut so quickly, and you know, many fond memories of Dallas Hunt running up and down this field, and of course, Steve Martin was. A good buddy of mine was the coach at the time for the Windsor Dukes, and he said, "Coach, what's the game plan?" It was pretty simple. Let's give the rock to Dallas. Right?
I loved it whenever I was in the huddle and you got the play call and it was a run to Dallas. You're like, okay, all I got to do is block this guy and then watch this greatness happen, and it was fun. It was fun to watch him run, and big shout out if Dallas Hunt is out there listening. Saying a big hello to Dallas out there. Maroons starting with the ball here with the squib kick. Langley kind of giving them good field position. You'd almost think that you'd want to boot it a little deeper and pin them back a little bit.
Well, especially since the first 2 kicks
Yeah.
were very effective.
Yeah.
I mean, the last kickoff was, just over the head of the return man, and so interesting call. And I don't know if the squib kick was. I don't know if it was necessarily a kick designed to kick it short to the short, line of players, but a nice job by the Maroons of recovering that kick and giving them excellent field position at center field. Like you say, there's no yardage, no yard markers, or there's yard markers, but there's no numbers on there, as folks obviously you can see at home as well. So and there's no scoreboard up with down and distance and so on, or
we're
time.
Straight ahead.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
7:40 to go in the second
it.
quarter. Ball on the 47, and Langley missed the last extra point, so back-to-back misses on the extra points, and it's 19-0. Nice pass over the middle there from Williamson to Dominic Peterson, which is who I have as the quarterback of record, and threw for 855 yards this year.
Yeah, exactly. And when you've got, and again, I had a chance. I was doing one of my camps up in Kelowna, and I had a chance to coach some of these fine young men from Clarence, Fulton, and great athletes. And you know what? Whether they're playing quarterback, receiver, again, Coach Scheller doing a good job of getting the ball in the hands of his athletes.
And this is a quarterback sneak there by Williamson. Breaks a couple tackles, brings it out to the side here, and he's going to be wrapped up, and there's a flag going right at number 9. Nice catch there by Colby Eisenhower.
Colby, another fine player. Yeah,
I believe they're going to get a hit to the head here, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a
personal foul. Yeah, hit to the head there. It was the second player that came in. I couldn't see who it was here.
So quarterback sneak, the play that they started the football game with.
Yep.
And, of course, they started the football game with a 9-yard gain on a quarterback sneak. So, why not come back to it? And they did a good job of busting it to the outside.
We'll see the replay here. It was right here. It was not the first guy that had him. It was the second guy. It was, there. None in 24 from Langley, and that's Kai Thomas.
Yeah, we know that number. So,
Yeah.
Kai Thomas showing his talents showing that he plays defense as well, right? But unfortunately, and good job by the referees, Jamie Graham and his staff to call that.
And here comes the blitz here from Langley, and Williamson's gonna be wrapped up. And that was number big 60 there, who was the first guy, James Cuthbert. 6'1", 225, grade 10.
Yeah, and also good job by Hayden Horn getting in there. And the Saints are showing a lot of different looks. And I tell you, as an offensive coach, when you see, that 40 look and you see different linebackers blitzing on, they haven't really run the same blitz, twice tonight. They're just showing different looks. They're bringing Kieran Davies. They're bringing number 14 Horn on that particular play. And, good job of confusing this Maroons offense, because
another big flag here against Langley. Another 15-yarder, looks like. Or are we going? I didn't see what the call was.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be, like you said, another personal foul.
Yeah, so it's going to give Langley, I believe, first down here. First down here from the 13-yard line. So the Maroons looking to punch one in themselves here.
Yeah,
on
and
a couple
again,
back-to-back bad penalties by Langley.
Right, playoff football or any football, you got discipline is, just the key, and these penalties are just going to really hurt the Saints.
And this is Williamson with the 3 receivers motion out to the far side. He pulls that back down. He's going to run up the middle. Kieran Davies got him, and then brought down finally by, it looked like Hershad Juhal, who, again, like you said, offense and defense, playing linebacker there, and it was Juhal who was able to grab him after a gain of about, let's say, 6.
Nice job by Williamson. So just running a trips formation, a little bit of early motion by the tailback to get that middle linebacker out of the box, and good job with a quarterback draw to pick up 6 yards on that first down. Nice pickup by the Maroons.
So second and 4 here. Williamson with trips receivers to the far side. Wappel in the backfield. And he's going to hand this to Wappel. Wappel off tackle there on the far side, and he's going to be wrapped up. Might get a yard or 2 off of that. But again, with second and short, that's something you can kind of throw in the playbook, because now you still got a third and manageable.
Yeah, exactly. And, very difficult to run. You can see that big Saints defensive line, offensive, defensive guys playing both ways, of course, right? So, big play in this football game, and let's see if we maybe got a little bit of a misdirection, maybe a reverse play on this play coming up for the
Langley
Maroons.
looks like they're going to bring the blitz here as they got 6 guys in the line, and Davies is coming up now too. And then Williamson rolls out, has a nice pass caught there by Hayden Catt, but I don't think he got enough for the first down.
No, but
He
they're
only
definitely in goal.
Yeah, they're definitely in
territory,
goal here, especially down 19-0. You're gonna want to get something before the half here. So this will be about a 4th and 1, long one, maybe a short 2.
Yeah, but again, a good call by the Maroons and a good job here by the Maroons of, I think they're calling timeout here, so they just want to make sure that they get things settled, they get things straight, and they know how important this particular series is. And again, when you've got a 4th and 2 situation, I like the call though on 3rd down. I like the rollout, as you said. They came up and the Langley Saints on that particular play brought 7 guys, so they're really playing aggressive. Langley is not taking the foot off the gas pedal at all in this football game. They're still blitzing. They're still playing very, very aggressive on defense. And you know what? Again, a good call by the Maroons is to hit that quick breakout.
You would just wish that Cat had run that a little deeper.
Maybe a little bit
Another
deeper.
yard, maybe. Because that catch, now you're getting kind of tackled. You're probably getting a first down out of that. But like you said, it was a great play, and it got Williamson out of the pressure right off the bat, right up the middle. So
yeah, big play here from the Maroons. Let's see if Coach Shellard is really hustling off the field. I hope he doesn't pull a hammy there with that sprint action there. Job, Coach.
Showing the kids, hey, you got to leave it all on the field here. I know we're gonna have looks like
equipment maybe issue, or
Innenhag here's gonna have
he might have blood on
his
if you got blood on your jersey or blood on your
arm or whatever.
But quickly, 79 getting a chance to show his stuff here. So let's see if 79 Saban Schwebel is able to get in there and show his stuff at left tackle. Look for a rollout to the left-hand side here. Similar play to what we just saw.
Yeah, shotgun formation, single back, 2 receivers each side. Williamson calls out. Langley looks like they're going to bring at least 6, 7. Kick Davies up the middle, and then he's going to block it. And that was, oh no, that was 66, and that was that was Dayton Boytiller with the block, just bull rushing right up the middle. Kind of looked a little bit like Jadavian Clowney last Monday night. They're just blowing up the San Fran tackles.
No, exactly. Just trying to hit a quick slant on that 4th down gamble, and just that power and the sheer, speed of that Langley Saints defense doing a great job. And I tell you, interesting to see these guys, at this. It's not a fluke necessarily that these guys are, big, strong football players. I know that Coach Piché, Coach Sandor has these guys, training, and I know a lot of the players in the off season, of course, have already started their training programs. And, to be a successful football player, that's what you need to do.
Oh, and here goes Rashad Juhal, and he's going to get him out of the shadow of their own end zone all the way to their own 24-yard line after a nice 19-yard run there from Rashad Juhal.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you need to, get out of the shadows of your own goalpost. And with just under 5 minutes left in the second quarter, this is exactly perfect timing for the Saints to just kind of grind out one of their long drives. They don't want to try to get the ball back to the Maroons, and obviously they want to try to score because, of course, they're going to be receiving the kickoff in the second half. So,
and they're going to pass, maybe to try to catch them off guard, and that's Trenton Warren going down the middle there and just overthrown there from Josh Goosen. But that's, like you said, we weren't going to see many throws, right? Like Goosen only threw 15 balls in 8 games.
Was that a forward pass we saw there, Mike?
That was a forward pass.
That was a forward pass.
pass.
Hey, way to go, Coach Piché out there. Maybe they had the wrong play call. Maybe he signaled the wrong play, and the quarterback looked at his wristband.
Probably
and
in the huddle going, really? Really?
Sorry, Coach. Sorry, I called the wrong play. I wanted my arm was getting if I had to keep it warm, right?
Yeah.
So actually, not a bad pass.
That was actually just a little overthrown, but it was actually a really nice thrown ball. Sweep here out to Kai Thomas, looking for blocking. Cuts it back up, cuts it outside. Breaks one tackle. He's got the sideline. He's going to cut it back up and finally dragged down at the Fulton 44 by number 77, Quade Willett. So another big run there from Kai Thomas, and it puts them inside Fulton territory at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, exactly what the Saints want to do there is, just get the ball into the hands of their star and get Thomas some touches, and look what happens. A big gain, 30-yard gain for Thomas on a toss play to the left-hand side.
Single back with just Rashard Juhal in the backfield. Two receivers to the near side. Gooson's going to drop back and pass again. He's going to look deep and, almost picked off. That would be Seth Pallister almost with the pick there as he overthrew Trenton Warren again.
Yeah, exactly. So trips formation, trips to the field, 3 receivers to the field, 1 wide receiver to the left-hand side, just running all streaks. So trying to get a completion against that cover 3. A good call on that particular play. You've got those 2 inside receivers running right up the seam. It kind of puts the safety on a bit of a bind there, right? And Gooson's just not able to get the ball in there. But good call against that cover 3 look from the Maroons.
Gooson under center with Juhal in the backfield. Warren in motion. And this is going to be Kai Thomas. Kai Thomas cuts it back up middle. And he's going to be, no, he's not going to be dragged down. He's going to drag a couple more people, and he's going to get a first down out of this to the Fulton 35. And that was Ingle Inhag with the tackle. Yeah,
the leading tackler again. Good job by the Maroons of getting off that block and making the tackle. But again, there's Thomas with that second effort. He was stopped right about at the 9-yard mark and was able to push forward for a nice gain again, keeping this drive going with 3:30 left in the second quarter.
Trips receivers to the near side here. Juhal in motion, and it's going to be a toss out to the near side here. He's got a little bit of a lane. He's got a lane. He's going to cut it back. And nice job there by number 89, Braden Beckley. 5'8", 130 going up against 5'10", 225. He did a perfect job. He just stood there, and he didn't try to, arm tackle him. He just stood in front of him. He knew he had help coming back from him and just took out his legs.
Yeah, a nice job again. And, good hustle by the Maroons. And you know that they're not going to give up. They're going to continue to play tough football. So Beckley, nice tackle on that. And Chambers, good job from his defensive line position to come down and help out with that tackle. Good hustle, Chambers.
Another toss out here to Juhal. Juhal drags a couple more Maroons to about the 5-6 yard line. So they can get a first down. It was not first and goal. It was first down from about the 13.
Yeah, so right now the Saints are also looking at the clock right now, again, with 2:47 left in the second quarter. They don't want to be giving the ball back to the Maroons, and have the Maroons, have time to get down the field and score a touchdown. So again, another crucial part of this game, or time of this game, of course. You've got the Saints that can, get up by 4 touchdowns in this situation. But if the Maroons can maybe stop them here and get a little bit of a drive going in the second quarter, we could have a different ball game. But exactly what we kind of thought this game was going to be.
Yeah.
Fulton coming out and trying to establish the pass, and they picked up a lot of first downs. They have picked up some good gains on their screens, their quarterback runs. They've done a nice job. They come in with a good game plan, and the Saints are just really an overpowering football team right now.
Yeah, and Fulton just took a timeout, trying to think that if Langley does score, at least to give Williamson some time to maybe drive them down the field to get one more score. 2:47 to go here in the first half. Langley up 19-0 over Clarence Fulton here in the BC High School Boys Subway quarterfinal action. Trenton Warren off the near side, and he's going to be wrapped up at about a no gain, maybe even a loss there. So this is going to be bring up a third and about 4 or 3, and the clock's going to run, so that's helping Langley, not so much helping Fulton out.
Yeah, nice job by Williamson, who of course has been playing quarterback today for the Maroons. Nice job from his strong safety position to come up and make a great tackle on that play.
They're going to bunch it up here with Juhal in the backfield. Kai Thomas in motion to the near side here, stretch the defense out. Warren in the backfield with motion. And it's going to be Juhal, and he's going to break one tackle, break another, and he's in for his 3rd touchdown of the day, right up off the right tackle there. And we got a 25-0 ball game here with 2:01 to go here in the first half.
Boy, I tell you, there they are, the right-hand side of that offensive line, just opening big, huge holes. Great takeoff. Excellent job. Again, as we said, heavily outmanned are the Maroons, but the Langley Saints, that right side of that offensive line, led by Dayton, and of course Zach Rowan right beside him is big, strong right guard, and excellent job by Joel Hall again, breaking some tackles and another touchdown, third touchdown of the game for Joe Hall.
And he makes the extra point this time, so it'll be 26-0 with 2:01 to go. And like you're saying, having a big opposing back like Juhal, all that line has to do is really just take out the big guys from Fulton on the D line. Juhal's done a pretty good job of breaking the tackles from the linebackers and the DBs all day so far. So
he really has, and again, we talked about it earlier. I wouldn't want to be tackling a big guy like that. Hey, but we got a little bit of a shout out here for a very special man, actually, that in my life as well. George Zarelli, the longtime treasurer, longtime football coach, old Vancouver Maryloma, recovering from back surgery. So George, and we know you're listening out there. George and Diane are. Again, I talked to Diane earlier in the week, and mentioned that George Zarelli was, one of my high school coaches actually, and he was also my head coach when I had a chance to play for the Vancouver Marylomas way back in the early '80s. So, George, we know you're listening out there. We love you, and I hope you're getting better. And we miss you down there on your speedy cart down on the field at BC Place. So, hope to see you soon. Take care.
Well said. And another little squib kick here, and this will be 22. That's Pallister, and he's looking for some room up the middle. Big hit there from your boy Kieran Davies. And he's been all over the field.
Yeah, he
played
really
some
has.
receiver
Yeah,
there.
receiver, and I know, like I said, it's interesting to see some of these young men grow up. And Kieran has been coming to my quarterback football camps. He's actually he's a decent quarterback. He was attended my camps as a quarterback for many years, and great family. Dad's a teacher, and Kieran is a great kid, and he's going to be playing more football. I know UBC is looking at him, and I know many other universities in Canada are going to be trying to recruit Kieran because he's also a good student.
And Williamson's going to pull this one down, and he's going to run into some traffic. Juhal followed by a horde of Langley Saints, and a gain of about 3 or 4. And like you're saying, there's probably a couple of these Langley Saints guys that are being looked at by universities. I mean, you got to think Dayton Bull Taylor's being looked at also, and maybe Zach Rohan too, and who wouldn't want a 5'10", 225 back like Juhal and Kai Thomas? All these guys are grade 12, so they're probably getting some looks from some schools around.
Exactly.
Williamson in the backfield. 2 receivers each side, single back, and he's going to toss this one out to Wabble. He's going to cut it up the middle. He's going to break one tackle, and Kieran Davies is going to wrap him up at around the 40-yard line.
Nice job by Wapple getting the ball and cutting it up. Good. The Saints had the toss play contained, and Wapple did a nice job of just cutting it up and getting some positive yards on that particular toss. But we talk about the Langley Saints, of course, and I know the other team that's kind of licking their chops are the Langley Rams, who of course are playing in the Canadian Championship at 1 o'clock.
Right,
Langley Rams, Surrey Rams. We're going to still go with the old name, new name, and you know what? It's they're they of course share the same facility right there at McLeod Park, and great facility there at McLeod Park for the Langley Saints to play in, and it's a good roof for some players that maybe aren't ready for university to play a little junior football. There are certain rules that players should be aware of. It's basically a 7-year rule, so you have 7 years to play after high school. So if you play a couple of years of junior football, then you would have your 5 years left. Once you get into your 3rd year of playing junior football,
you start losing some of your
then your clock starts ticking, so to speak, right? So a nice option for you. Of course, there's lots of different junior teams in the league with the Victoria Rebels and the VI Raiders,
Valley Huskers, Kamloops Broncos, and the Okanagan Sun, which is our rivals. When I played, it was the Rams and the Sun, and I remember playing up in the old Apple Bowl up in Kelowna there, and 4,500 people screaming and yelling, hating on you at that time. We had some battles with the Sun. I remember back in the days with the Rams. So.
And actually, when I was, as I said, old Maryloma back in 1983, that's when the Sun was first getting going. You probably weren't even born by then.
I was born in 1980. 1980, I was born.
So there you go.
My aunt cheerleaded for the Raiders.
Oh,
when we had the Richmond Raiders. Here's a formation here for you.
Oh, the Saints are ready for it, though.
and something, a whistle, I believe Fulton maybe took a timeout, or there's
Kind of
no
a little bit of a
flag.
swinging gate, we call this formation, where
Yeah.
all the offensive linemen line up to the left-hand side. You're going to see this formation on the last football game of the day today with Notre Dame and South Delta, because the Sun Devils, of course, Coach Moon, Coach McDonald are famous for their swinging gate, especially on their convert plays.
And I knew, I thought, yeah, and it's gonna go to Cat. I was thinking it was gonna go to Cat either on a little pitch handoff. Hopefully he can beat that first line of the defense, and a nice little shovel pass there to Cat for a 5-yard gain.
Yeah.
12 seconds, the
stick with
clock's
it.
running. They got to go here. Williamson's deep, almost like in a punt formation. And he's going to drop back. He's going to look, and he's going to throw it to Wappel. Wappel's going to cut it up front. Yeah, you kind of want him to probably go outside at that point.
Exactly.
You're going back into the teeth of that defense, and that looks like
that's a tough because you obviously have to throw the ball out there, right? So it's it's a 15-yard throw, and by that time the defense has a chance to kind of get out to that particular play. But the Saints were ready for that, right?
Yeah.
They lined up, they knew exactly where to go, and did a good job. So again, great job by Coach Piché, Coach Wise, Coach Cardos of having his Langley Saints prepared.
Well, and that's the first half for you as the Langley Saints take the first half lead, 26-0 over the Clarence Fulton Maroons. Myself, Mike Stoneberg, and Jay Pepchik. We'll be back in about, let's say we'll come back with about 3 minutes left of halftime, and we'll give you some, hopefully if I can track down some stats, if there's some stats around. If not, definitely track down our keys to the second half and the goods and the bads of the first half. So go grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack, and join us back here in about 8 minutes' time here at the Subway Bowl Playoffs quarterfinal action at BC Place.
It's 1986 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Got another mouth to feed. Leave it with the babysitter, mama call the grave digger. Gone with the falling leaves. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might have had your fill, but I feel it still. now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Let me kick it like it's 1986 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Might have had your fill, but I feel it still.
Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things and wanna leave my old life behind. Not a yes sir, not a follower. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the foyer. Take a number. I was lightning before the thunder.
Thunder, 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 thunder,
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, thunder, thunder. Kids were laughing in my classes while I was scheming for the masses. Who do you think you are? Dreaming about being a big star. They say you're basic, they say you're easy. You're always riding in the backseat. Now I'm smiling from
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting ready for second half action here. The first game here of the BC High School Championships Subway Bowl quarterfinal action. Double-A varsity action here between the Langley Saints and the Clarence Fulton Maroons. Sorry, I'll spit that one out. Langley up 26-0. So the first half, Fulton, like we said, moved the ball well, got some good passing in there. And this Langley Saints team, they did what we thought they would do, and they come in here and just run.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, looking at the quote from Coach Schellert, the longtime head coach of the Maroons, and just reading it right off his email, they hold a massive size advantage over us. Langley's a very tough team and can run the ball. I mean, obviously that's an understatement, right? We have to sell out to stop the run, and they've tried to do that, but boy, that offensive line is just massive, and they have great technique. Again, when you have some experienced coaches like Coach Pichet and Coach Sandor, they do an excellent job of coaching their team, obviously with techniques, but also preparing. And the Saints are prepared. They've done their homework. They are prepared for the Maroon offense. So the Maroons, like you said, they've come out and they've been able to effectively move the ball, and that's exactly, again, what Coach Schellert wanted to try to do, is establish the pass. And, he's done that, but it's just, they're playing against a team that is just right now simply overpowering them, right? But, full credit to the Maroons for coming in with a game plan, trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, and quick screens to the wide receivers, tailback screens, the fake punt, going for it on fourth down. They're doing all the things that an undermanned team should be doing.
And I think in the second half here, you might see Clarence Fulton do something they haven't done yet, and that is maybe do a couple more deeper passes. They've done a lot of over the middle within the 5-10 yard range. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of trying to stretch out those DBs a little bit and expand that middle open a little bit. Langley tried 2 passes in the first half.
Wow.
And like you said, they just ran everybody on streaks, right? Like, hey, everybody go, right? And I think it made both the safety go in to the middle. I think what maybe Langley might set up now is they had Kieran Davis running all the way down the sideline there. That pass might now be open because they're going to see that again, and they're going to automatically maybe jump to the middle, and you might have that long bomb pass. Langley starting with the ball here right at midfield after the squib kick. Juhal in the backfield. He's going to cut this back up the middle, and he's going to be swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And that was by number 52 there, and that was, Innenhag.
Innenhag, hey, leading tackler for the Maroons. He's had a really good football game today. A nice job on pursuing from his middle linebacker position. Again, 67 tackles this season. Dayton's had a really good season. You can see why, he is one of the top defenders for the Maroons. Nice job by Dayton on that particular toss play.
And Juhal, the ball carrier, 3 touchdowns so far in this game. The other Langley score by Kai Thomas. And this will be Kai Thomas. And he's going to run off the side there. He's going to break 1 tackle. He's breaking another tackle. He's dragging 3 people. And the ball came loose. I think Langley got back on it, but Kai Thomas seemed to be trying to drag one too many guys, and someone popped that ball out, but Trenton Warren able to get on the ball.
Yes, and that brings up a point. We really haven't seen a turnover, right? We saw a turnover on downs, but we haven't seen an interception, and we haven't seen a fumble yet. So, kudos to both of these football teams to protect the football. So you can see Kai Thomas on that particular play. We always say the offensive line kind of creates that first 5 yards, right? The second 5 yards or second 10, 15 yards after that is the running back, and after that it's kind of the receivers blocking downfield.
Trent Warren cuts that one back up, and it'll be another first down. And it was Braden Beckley who's the one that caused the ball to come loose. Braden Beckley, you might remember from the first half, he was the one that was it was between him and the goal, and he stopped Hershad Juhal from making it into the end zone there on a nice touchdown saving tackle. He was the one that made that pop that ball loose from Kai Thomas. Trenton Warren with a run up there for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 here from the Fulton 24-yard line. Warren in motion, and this will be Juhal off to the far side. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks it outside. Still dragging a couple players, and he's finally brought down. And there's a late flag coming in from the far side sideline judge. See what we get here as the ball looks like it's going to be spotted at about the 23, and It looks like he's pointing towards Fulton and his personal foul against Fulton. So not a good penalty for Fulton, as this is going to put it half the distance to the goal probably for sure, and it'll be around probably the 7-8 yard line, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And, we talked a little bit about the Langley Saints and, only throwing 2 passes. And, you look at the Maroon defense and, Coach Scheller has a good game plan. He's got, 11 guys right up there in the box, got one of the corners out there, so really 10 guys up. But you can't even tell really that they're playing with a safety, right? The safety is actually another linebacker. As you can see on your screen, they've got everybody up, jammed into the box, trying to stop the run.
Toss out here to Kai Thomas, breaks off one tackle, breaks off another, and he's not in yet. He thought he was in, or he might have stepped out of bounds, but I think he thought he was in or stepped out. There's a flag down.
A nice job by Ethan Scheiman, the defensive end for the Maroons, of getting good initial contact. But again, Thomas, with his speed and strength, was able to break that tackle and get close to the goal line here.
And that tough run that Kai Thomas just did there is not going to matter, as it was a holding penalty against the Langley Saints. So it's going to push him back there.
Interesting to see. I had a chance just at halftime to talk to one of our UBC coaches, and I was asking about some of the players out there, because as we talked about, there's a lot of these football players that are going to hopefully be able to carry on and play football after. And I always say the first question that I always ask, of course, while you see a kid, a big, strong kid or a good football player out there that has the talent to play at the next level, and coach said a couple of these guys, we like them, but they just don't have any grades. Right,
so that's the problem. So that's where junior comes in. You can go to junior college a little bit, go to like a Langara or Douglas, bump your grades up a little bit, while still playing football.
Exactly, but and again, another indication of what it takes is as a football player in high school, 16, 17 years old, you're dreaming about playing professional football. You're dreaming about playing university football, and in Canada, of course, there's so many universities that players have the option to go to. Of course, we have our 2 local schools in UBC and Simon Fraser, but you know what? You could be the best football player in the world, Mike, as you know, or best basketball player, best track and field volleyball player, but you know what? If you don't have the grades, then you know what? Teams are just not they're not gonna recruit you. They're not gonna waste their time, because there's so many other athletes out there.
Oh, Goosen looking for Trenton Warren again, overthrows him.
Well, I think Warren's getting a little bit frustrated because he knows that he's open.
He just looked back at Goosen and said, "Come on, man, I'm wide
exactly.
open."
Same play, same pass play that they've run three for three, and not only
nicely thrown ball too. Like, it's not a bad thrown ball. It's
timing's just a little bit off, but of course the teams are scouting this game, right, and they're seeing that they're going to have to defend the Saints, but if they're seeing some pass again, it's going to try to keep some teams honest, because looking ahead, it looks like Langley might be winning this football game. They would be playing the winner of GW Graham Grizzlies and the Holy Cross Crusaders, who are playing tonight. Exhibition Stadium out there in
my buddy Conrad out there.
Conrad to go, doing an excellent job. Big win last week
over
against the Barsby Bulldogs. They went over to Nanaimo, and not easy playing against Rob Stevenson and that Barsby Bulldog football team. So again, good job by Holy Cross.
A funny story about Holy Cross. So one of my best friends is the basketball coach at Holy Cross, Anthony Pizente, and he's been put on the staff this year as the special teams coordinator.
Oh.
So he decided to run a fake punt, and Conrad ran down the sideline screaming at him, "Why did you do that?" It's like, "I don't know. I just thought it was a good time." He's like, "Stick to basketball." It was pretty funny though.
Okay, was it successful or not?
No, they didn't get the first down.
Well,
but they gained some yards out of it. It's just the kid didn't get the full amount of yards that they needed to get. But it was pretty funny though. I was howling when they were both telling me the story. I couldn't stop laughing.
Maybe he shouldn't run a fake punt on 4th and 20 from his own 5-yard line, right?
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. This is so good.
Was that in the Barsby game? Or
no, it was during a regular season game or something. I think they were down a bit, and they were like, "Oh, we need to get something going." So he's trying to spark the interest or something, or spark it.
Well, you know what? I'm sure that knowing Conrad, if they had gained the first down, he would high five. Great call, coach.
The other way around. It's all he sees is red at that point.
It's not like I like fouling. Maybe Conrad's going to be coaching some basketball, and it's like fouling a 3-point shooter. From
Ooh, big hit there by number 53, and that was Ethan Scheiman, who came right off, and Goosen's a little slow to get up. Going for it on 4th and goal, really, from the 24. I mean, not a bad idea for Langley. You're up by 26. I mean, you're not going to punt that. You don't have you're obviously that's not a field goal for you guys to make. So you might as well go for it, because punting it really is going to net you 9 yards.
Yeah,
Nine-yard punt,
and you
so.
know, even though that's going to show up as a sack on against the offense for Langley Saints, you know, Goosen had some time to throw the football, right? So again, kudos to the Maroons defense. They did an excellent job of covering down there, downfield. Goosen couldn't find anybody to throw to, so again, nice play by the Maroons and getting the ball to start the second half.
Great coverage sack. Williamson in the backfield here, trips receivers to the near side. He's going to drop back, and they're going to look at screen, and that's picked off. Kieran Davies read that perfectly and was sitting right behind Dylan Wappel, and as soon as that ball was thrown, he went out and broke for that ball. Interception. 1st and 10 now for Langley from the Fulton 20-yard line.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, you know what? Again, there's key to good football teams, good coaching.
And here's the replay right
There's
here.
the replay
See,
right
he just
there.
broke right on it. Was right
and
for it.
you can be guaranteed that the Saints coaches at halftime talked about the plays that the Maroons are running, and obviously they would have seen that play, throughout their film study, preparing for this football game. And Kieran Davies, the veteran middle linebacker, did an excellent job of, he also plays tight end. He's got great hands, and just a fine play by the middle linebacker, Kieran Davies.
Kai Thomas off to the far side there. He's going to gain about 8 yards there, so to bring up a 2nd and 2. And that's something that, like I was saying that right after half, like I kind of want to see Fulton try to stretch the field a little bit more. But part of the thing is number 71 for Langley, Nolan McLeod. He was untouched going right at Williamson. So Williamson doesn't have the time to really drop back, plant his feet, set that up, and set that deep passing game up. So the O-line's got to try to do a better job of getting some blocks here to give Williamson some time to stretch the field a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And this will be Trenton Warren up the middle. Trenton Warren takes a big hit there, but he's going to be brought down at about the 2-yard line, and it'll bring up a 1st and goal here for Langley.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, great job by the Maroons of playing tough. You know that they're going to be tough. Coach Schellert, that's one of the trademarks from the Maroons is play. They've got tough kids, and even though they are heavily outmanned and undersized, you know what? They're going to continue to play hard. They're going to continue to play physical football, and again, a trademark from the Maroon program.
And they're not giving up.
Program.
They're down 26-0 with 7:07, and like you say, they're not mailing it in right now, and they're playing hard. This will be Trenton Warren up the middle again, tripped up there. Beautiful play there. I'm trying to see the number of the kid.
Dylan Wappel.
There dove in there and able to trip him up. So gain of 2 there, and it'll be 2nd and goal here from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, interesting formation again coming out from the Saints. They're just showing different looks, continuing to run with their 3 backs in the backfield, but also playing with a tight end and a wide receiver to the left-hand side. So again, it doesn't look like a lot of variation, but it's really difficult for these teams to continue to prepare against these different looks.
And Kai Thomas just takes that handoff there and just easily walks in on the right side there for his 2nd touchdown of the day. And that'll bring the score to 32-0 with 6:22 to go here in the third quarter.
Watch our big right tackle here just dominate the line of
right there.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that scene of in The Blind Side when with Orr, right? And he just blows that kid up, right? Like, but that's the thing, right? It's just it's such a big line for Langley, and it's just. But you got to give it to Fulton because they're not giving up. They're hitting them just as hard. So. Yeah,
exactly. But you can tell though. You look at that offensive line and that 300 pounds, 280 pounds. Those kids, they're 17, 18 years old. They're not chubby kids out there. They're well built, stocky kids. You can tell again, as we talked about earlier in this football game, that obviously those football players have been putting the time in the weight room, right? And there's lots of opportunities out there, lots of different training programs, lots of different companies that obviously offer off-season training, excellent programs throughout Vancouver, British Columbia, and it's part of it's kind of like you as a basketball coach
you look
know
at
that too, right?
All sports, like you look at basketball, you look at hockey, and you look at like football, baseball. All these kids now are bigger, stronger, and more athletic, right? Because they got all these different avenues that we didn't have when we were younger. You got personal trainers, you got sports fitness, you got conditioning guys and stuff like that. You got your quarterback camps. You got everything, right? You got the prep truck, the quarterback camp. You got it all. But that in every sport, like even in basketball, there's so much different training that these
Right.
kids can go to. I mean, you watch a hockey game from the 80s and you watch a hockey game now. I mean, the speed alone is just, it's amazing. Like some of these guys that are 240 pounds and they skating around the ice like they,
Yeah.
like a 110-pound kid.
It really is so much different. And, the one thing that we look at also is the multi-sport. I know that
Yeah.
a lot of you athletes out there are thinking that, I'm just going to play football or I'm just going to play basketball. I'm just going to play one sport. But if you look at, the players in the NFL, I know there's, of course, some statistics, something like, 85% of the NFL players played another sport, right? Whether it be basketball or whether it's wrestling or whether it's track and field. I mean, obviously track and field is not as popular certainly as it used to be, but track and field is a great sport for football for any athlete, but especially for a football player. You don't have to necessarily be the fastest guy, but it will help you certainly to develop your athleticism and help you to develop your speed as an athlete, right?
Yep.
So, the moral basically of our story is get out there
Yeah.
and you got to train. Take some time off after the season.
If you're ever looking, Google Urban Meyer's two-sport athlete paper
Gotcha.
that he did. One of the best reads ever, and it pretty much just says what you said. Like you become a more well-rounded athlete if you're playing two and not specialize in one. Urban Meyer, you guys, football coach from Ohio State, Florida,
National
champion coach. So he wrote a report on it, and it's definitely a good read. It's about that, and
Yeah.
we had a personal foul there on the kickoff, which gave the Maroons some pretty good field possession. Second down here after a quarterback keeper. They've done that a couple times. Williamson's been taking a beat in this game, but he's still going. He's in at quarterback. Three receivers to the wide side. He's going to roll out. He's going to look for a receiver, and he hits Siddiqui, and he's going to be wrapped up pretty quickly by Kieran Davis at about the 45.
Yeah, look at Kieran Davis, not only, intercepting passes, not only blitzing the quarterback, but also does a good job of getting into his pass responsibility, rollout play to the left-hand side, and Kieran doing a good job of bringing down the ball carrier. Nice design play, though. You got a trips formation, three receivers out to the far side, the wide receiver running a streak, just a straight go, the two inside receivers running quick breakouts, easy read for the quarterback. Nice job, nice completion.
Bring up a 3rd and 5 here for the Maroons. Little motion here. Williamson now trips receivers to the near side. He's going to drop back. He looks over the middle and broken up there by Kai Thomas, the safety / running back. Man of many trades here on this team. Made a good break on that ball and able to knock that down.
Good discipline again by the Saints defense, and with their four-man front rushing forward, not blitzing as much, not as aggressive on the blitz right now, but certainly doing an excellent job of being disciplined and dropping into their cover 3 zones.
Well, knowing now because of the up 32-0, you know that Clarence Fulton here they're gonna try and push this ball now. They're gonna have to try. So dropping back into a more of a coverage for that reason. And almost blocked again. They've had a couple that have almost been blocked. Trent Warren calling for move out of the way, bombs away, and the ball went out at around I thought the 28, but the ref's going to put it at the 30. But then he's got a better vantage point than I do.
There you go. Hey, get down to BC Place today. We have some great football. There's the Lord Tweedsmuir Panthers with their green jerseys against New Westminster. So getting a chance to talk to Kurt Thornton throughout the week, and of course Farhan Lalji getting a chance to talk to the prospective coaches of the upcoming football game, and we know that this is going to be one heck of a football game. So if you're not able to get down to BC Place, 12 o'clock kickoff for that game. 2:30, Kelowna Owls. Great season for Chris Cartwright and the Kelowna Owls against Todd Burnett and the Vancouver College Fighting Irish.
That'd be a great game.
Yeah, 5 o'clock, Mount Doug. Mount Doug, of course, with Mark Townsend, defending champions. Mount Doug Rams against the St. Thomas More Knights, Coach Delazari, the head coach of the St. Thomas More Knights. And then, of course, at 7:30, we've got the Notre Dame Jugglers going at it against, what do we have? Notre Dame and South Delta. There we go.
Minus the
Rams.
South Delta. McDonald's still out, right?
Yeah,
I believe,
unfortunately.
He's out for the season, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trent Warren up here after a nice run by Juhal and Hayden Cat able to take him down after a minimal game. That's a huge loss because South Delta was having a great year, running through at the beginning of the year, just running through teams, and looked like they were well on their way to maybe having a provincial title banner coming their way, and losing a player like that, is just, but it didn't cripple them. That's the one thing. I talked to Jerry Mullis, who's a good friend of mine, and he said that was the one thing, it didn't cripple them.
Jerry Mullis has good friends? He's a good friend of mine,
He's a good
too.
friend.
Love another one of my coaches.
He's one of those guys that you love him and you hate him sometimes, right?
I know coaches listening out there. Coach Mullis.
He's probably going to come up.
for-
I might stay to watch that game. He might come and smack me up the head, but it's all right.
He'll
Coached
smack
me
you
when I was
first.
younger.
Yeah,
so.
we both had
Yeah.
the good fortune of getting coached by Coach Mullis. But, Hunter Norman has stepped in at quarterback, and again, another individual that I've had a chance to work with in my quarterback camps. And, of course, Ben McDonald, one of the finest athletes certainly in the province, a great lacrosse player as well. Talking about Ohio State, I understand that
I think he's going down there, isn't it? For,
that's
lacrosse,
well. I think he had a visit down there already with at Ohio State, but Hunter Norman has filled in admirably at quarterback, and so many weapons. When you look at the weapons at that South Delta Ram, and Coach McDonald, of course, a long time, another Mariloma. We're getting off track here a little bit, long time Mariloma, Winnipeg Blue Bomber, retired fireman, of course. Coach McDonald has a lot of weapons, Troniak and different guys that Hunter Norman can throw the ball to. But we do have a turnover here, Mike.
Yeah, and I thought Juhal was down. Juhal thought he was down, but the ball popped out, and that's good for Fulton. They caused, that's the second fumble they've caused. This one's going to be a lost fumble for Langley, and it's their second turnover in 3 possessions here for Langley.
Yeah, a little sloppy, exactly. And, that does happen as, you get up in a football game, and obviously you have a little bit of a letdown. But also, you've got different players coming in, right?
Yeah.
You've got maybe they've got a second-team center in, or they've got a second-team receiver. And they just, those second-team guys, unfortunately, just haven't had a chance to kind of gel together. They haven't had a chance to work together, of course. And also can be some confusion. Who's on? Who's the last defense that was on? Or the special teams, there was a little bit of confusion for the Saints on the last punt return play. And so, you really have to kind of pay attention and focus, even though, you're up. And that's the thing, is they're already starting to look ahead. And, they've got to finish this football game. This football game strong.
3 plays, and then this can be and this is Hayden Cat on the outside. He's going to break 1 tackle. He's going to go back up the middle, and he's going to dive for the 40-yard line. That was a lot of work for 2 yards.
Yeah, nice job by Hayden Cat. Again, good season for Hayden. 2 touchdowns and 131 yards receiving. Nice job by Cat to just get upfield and break a tackle there. He had Saints are kind of right on him, but was able to pick up a positive gain of looks like 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, just hobbling off there, and I mean, if you're not sore in playoff time for football,
It takes.
I had an old coach who used to say that, Chris Butcher. If you're not sore in playoff time, you're not playing hard enough.
Yeah, exactly.
This will be a screen out here to Wabble. And Wabble's looking for the outside and dragged down by number 8, Kusler Randawa.
Finally got that number straight there.
We got that straight.
Number Randawa.
Yeah,
nice job. He's had a couple of good tackles.
He had a great
early
tackle
in
there in the first quarter, right on the first drive that Fulton had, and it actually stalled their first drive. Nice play there by Randawa.
Yeah, good ball possession though again by the Maroons. They're kind of chipping away a little bit. It'd be nice to see them try to get into the end zone, obviously, in this football game.
Well, looks like they're going to go for it again here at 4th and about 4 from the 48-yard line of the 48-yard line here, or 38-yard line of Langley. Dropping back to pass over the middle. He's got a receiver, and a great catch there by Dominic Peterson. Looked like he juggled it at the start, but was able to, great concentration to bring that ball in and make sure he secures that catch for another first down. Maroons pretty good on the old 4th down gambles. That's 3 they've gotten today.
Yeah, exactly. Great pass. This is the play that they've been trying to hit on, that little kind of skinny post break-in dig route there that Peterson does a nice job of hanging on to that football, even though he was hit as the ball hit his hands. Nice job, Maroons, getting that first down.
And Williamson's going to pitch it out here to Wabble. Get outside. He's going to cut it up, and he's going to be brought down after about 3 yards. And taken out at the low legs there, and Wabble's down and not. No, and he gets back up right away, and he's gonna let Dylan Wabble here, who took a big hit there. You see the number there, it was 27. So that'd be Caleb Remeyer with the big hit, and Wabble's feeling that a little bit, hobbles off. Just gonna check with the trainer, and hopefully we see him back in the game. Williamson with the shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the far side. Blitz show here for Langley, motion. And he's going to keep it up the middle, and he's going to break one tackle and stretch forward to the 25-yard line, where it'll bring up a 3rd and 5, let's say.
And that quarterback draw again, as you said, 3 receivers, trips formation to the left-hand side. A little bit of early motion by the tailback, trying to get that middle linebacker out of the inside box there, and nice job by the Saints to, nullify that play. Again, the Saints prepared for that play all week. They've seen the play a couple of times, and that's, again, the sign of a good football team when you can make certain adjustments, right? When you're going to, you might see the same play. A play might be successful the first or second time, but if you make the adjustments and, you've got bright, intelligent players, good coaches out there, they're going to say, hey, watch out for that middle screen coming back in the 3rd quarter. And, a big play by the Saints to start off. You always want, no matter what score it is at halftime, you want to have a good start in this to start off the second half.
Well,
and
let's take a look at some stats here. Quinn Williamson on the year was the leading rusher and also the leading receiver. He had 11 catches for 173 yards, and he ran 51 times for 278 yards. And today he's playing quarterback, so he's doing it all. He's doing it all from the quarterback position. He hasn't broken off any of those long runs. He had a long on the year of 30 yards. Hasn't broken any of those off yet, but is still doing a good job at moving the ball by using these quarterback sneaks. So we're going to start the 4th quarter here. Langley up 32-0. My name Mike Stoneberg with Jay Prepchuk. Sorry, Prepchuk.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all
See,
good.
I gotta wake up. I gotta get up here. Still.
We'll get there. We got a
We'll
couple
get there.
more games to get
Clarence,
right.
Fulton here in the white and the maroon uniforms coming from our right to our left, and Langley in the green and yellow helmets. 4th quarter action now underway. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the far side. Williamson gets some motion from Siddiqui. He's going to drop back to pass. He's got some receivers. He's going to look for Siddiqui on the far side and just in and out of the hands. That might have been one of those ones where he was thinking of running before he brought that ball in.
Yeah, exactly. And, very impressed with Quinn Williamson today. He's done an excellent job from his quarterback position. No turnovers, nice poise in the pocket, taking a look, looking, didn't see his first read. He wasn't happy with one, went to his 2nd progression, didn't like it, went to his 3rd progression. So nice job by Williamson, showing a lot of poise in the pocket from his quarterback position.
Another 4th down play here, 4th and 5, and Williamson's dropped back. He's going to roll out. He's got some room on the far side. He breaks a tackle. He's got one more to go. He's going to be dragged out of bounds at about the, and they're going to call that there's a flag coming in late. That might be a late hit as he dragged him down while he was running out of bounds. Might get a late hit here, and we are personal foul against Langley. So some good fortune there for the Maroons. They get the first down off the 4th down gamble, and now they're going to get half the distance to the goal line, so maybe 7-8 yard line. I don't again.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of field position. See the penalty here. It looks like you probably go halfway to the goal line.
Goal line there. Yeah, it's about the 7 yard line. So it's going to be 1st and goal here for the Maroons from the Langley 7 yard line. With 11:43 to go here in the 4th quarter of action, Langley up 32-0. Fulton trying to get in the end zone. Quarterback sneak there for Williamson. He bounces off one tackle, drags another, and he's going to get stopped up at about the 5 yard line. A nice not give up effort there from Quinn Williamson. Like you said, you've been quite impressed with him. I have too. He's kind of been the do-it-all guy. He's been there on defense and offense, and he just did a nice little quarterback keeper there and broke one tackle after the initial contact.
Yeah, showing a lot of pride, showing a lot of his talent, good strength, 185 pounds, and again, a real keen football player and playing with a lot of heart right now as his teammates are.
3 receivers here to the near side. Wappel back in the game. He's in the backfield. He's going to roll out. Gets a nice block from Wappel. Hits Siddiqui this time underneath. And he's able to make that catch at about the 2-yard line. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 2. But a great job there by Siddiqui to watch that one come in and actually make sure he grabbed it there before he ran. But good coverage there by Langley.
One of the favorite plays out of the just roll out to the left-hand side, wide receiver doing a post, and you got 2 breakouts from the inside receiver. Nice job by Williamson of reading that coverage, reading that outside linebacker, and getting the ball out quickly. Nice job of, again, nice throw, nice catch. But again, that Langley defense is doing a good job of swarming. Look at the very aggressive tackling. Nice job by the Saints.
Shotgun formation. We got Cat in motion here to the near side, and I think we're going to get a time clock. Oh, false start.
Boy, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Again, when you run motion like that, you run the slot back across the field like that, no other offensive player can be moving. And Jamie Graham, experienced head referee, spotted that, of course. And unfortunate for the Maroons, that's a tough penalty to take, right? When
now you're 3rd and goal from the 7, whereas you were 3rd and goal from the 2. Kind of opens the playbook up a little bit.
Definitely 2-down territory here for
yeah.
the Maroons.
So we'll see what they come out in. They're going to come in shotgun formation with Wappel in the backfield. And Williamson's going to drop and roll out to the right. He's looking to run. He's trying to get a block. He's going to throw it. Almost picked off. Oh, Randawa almost had that one as it went right through his hands, but then almost right into Hayden Cat's hands for Fulton there. So a little bit of lucky there for the Saints and for the Maroons at the same time.
Yeah, Williamson showing great patience here in the pocket, just thinking that his receiver is going to be open, but a good job by, the Langley Saints have done a good job. You get a rollout pass to the defensive left-hand side. Common play that the Maroons have been running all day long is the inside receiver on a quick breakout, and nice job by the Langley Saints to be covering that.
So it looks like we got a timeout here. Fulton, this is a big 4th down, right? At the end of the day, get some points here, and that's like you said, that's what Fulton's looking to do here. And they're gonna have a 4th and goal from the 7. What are you thinking, Jay? What are you thinking? What are they running here?
I think they're going to come back to that kind of break-in, dig, slant looking run, or a pass play. They're going to, the play that they ran earlier where they hit Peterson on the end. That's they're
and they got enough room to do it here from the 7-yard line. So
exactly. So look for the inside receiver to run a quick out, and the wide receiver to run that kind of in post dig look, and try to get that. Get that throw in there between the 2 middle linebacker and the outside.
And if you're Langley, you're bringing pressure here? Or are you dropping?
No, I think they're going to show. They're going to probably drop here. They've got some effective rush here with their front guys, their front 4 guys. But they're showing goal line though. You're right. They're showing goal line.
So Williamson in the shotgun formation with Wappel behind. Cat's in motion. We have 3 receivers to the far side. He drops back. He's looking, and he's going to run up the middle, and that's going to be stuffed. I think he had Cat a little bit on the far side if he'd just given that ball up there, but it's tough when you got the pressure there and you got to pull it down.
Yeah. Kind of almost like a coverage sack again there. It is not, you're looking out to the receivers. I looked at all the receivers out there, and nobody was open.
Yeah.
Great job by that Langley Saints defense of being disciplined, corners staying in their zones, linebackers getting good drops, just nobody to throw to.
So turnover on downs will bring the ball at the 12-yard line after the sack, 13-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Saints. 3 running backs in the backfield, Thomas, Warren, and this is going to be Kai Thomas. He breaks 1 tackle. He's going to scoot back. He's gone to the outside. Spinner Rama and brought down there by Hayden Cat at the 36-yard line. So another big run by Thomas. Thomas hasn't carried the ball much. Probably only at around the 9-10 carry marks here right now. It's been mostly Juhal, but all his runs have been at least a good 20-yard runs.
Yeah, and most of them, the successful ones, have been, of course, over the right-hand side, and we've talked so much tonight about, or this morning about that right-hand side of that Saints offense of line being just so dominant.
And they line up with all three of them in the backfield again. And Saints just waiting for the play clock to get all the way down. And now we got a flag, or no, timeout Langley.
And Chance, you know, we talked a lot about the senior football games, the AAA and AA, of course, the great quarterfinal matchups today. But we've also got some, you know, junior football and grade 8 football that's going on into playoff time. And the thank you, Jeremy Kahn, for the information. The Bolinas Whalers, again, a strong football program out there in Parksville. Danny Smith and Jeremy Kahn do an excellent job out there. And we've got the AA junior semifinals all set up with Bolinas, who had a big win over Robert Bateman, and they're playing South Cam. So South Cam, the old Cam High. Remember the old Cam High days, the old Brian Othius and the old Red Devils. Remember that? Remember them well. 1986, very first ever. You were 6 years old.
Yeah.
Very first ever championship in BC Place, coaching for 85.
Their basketball team just won the 3A provincials 2 years ago.
Okay.
Under Tim Hubigu as the coach. And
Okay.
Nick Sarai was the star player on that team that year.
Nice, nice. Well, we've got some AA
JV.
So
So going for a
Bolinas
championship,
against
yeah.
South Cam
South
Wednesday at 8 rinks. So we've got two teams traveling, one from the interior, of course, one from the island. So 8 rinks on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And we've got the Windsor Dukes. Again, I was up kind of teacher sponsor with the Windsor Dukes on Wednesday. They had a great game and defeated the Vernon Panther junior team, and they will be playing the G.W. Graham Grizzlies on Wednesday evening out there in Chilliwack. So again, check out the BC High School website for all the games. Grade 8 games, of course, coming up. They're into their final playdowns as well. And also, again, AAA Junior. Anybody got any of those games lined up for next week? You can send us a message. You can get through to me on Twitter, Instagram, just a J Prepchuck. Send me some schedules, some of the games coming up. Again, thank you, Jeremy Kahn, for sending me the information on the junior AA playoffs, but some AAA junior games. If you folks out there listening want to send me a text or a message and let me know when the AAA junior games are. Again, all on the BC High School website.
Goosens wants some of his own here, and he's going to keep this one, and he's going to step out of bounds at around the 27-yard line. So Goosen, with the quarterback keeper on the end around there, wanted some of his own here. He's watching Juhal and Thomas and Warren run. He was like, hey, man, let me get one here.
Exactly, and why not? You know, shows his athleticism, and you know, though they haven't thrown the ball a lot, it's, you know, to command this offense and to do a good job of you know, running his fakes and running through with his ball handling and so on. You know, Goosen has done a good job, and the passes he's throwing, he's shown that he's got a strong
a good throw
arm.
ball.
So
he can throw it. It's just the timing, like you said, is just a little off. Warren in motion here, and this will be Juhal up the middle, and he's going to be dragged down by big number 60, and that's Gavin Tilbert.
Yeah, and a nice job by the Saints again, showing a little bit of a different look, showing a little bit of a veer look, a little bit of an option look, where he's going to hand off the ball to, you know, the fullback over the guard, or he's going to keep the ball and kind of sprint out as he did 2 plays ago, and he's got the option, call it an option play, of course, and he's got the option to, you know, pitch the ball out. So, you know, it's another thing that the teams have to prepare for when they're going to be playing them. So it's either going to be Holy Cross or G.W. Graham that's going to be playing against the Langley Saints next week in BC Place.
Yeah, and that's Juhal up the middle for another. Every time I hear the veer or I see the veer, all I can think of is We Are Marshall with Matthew McConaughey. Remember when he played that role really good about that whole run the veer, you know. It's all he's about is the veer. It's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, why not? When you know, that type of offense is a very, very difficult offense to defend, as is, you know, the next game. Of course, we're going to see Farhan and his Andrew McKechnie, the offensive coordinator for the new Westminster High-Axe, of course, run, you know, a little bit of wing tee. So, again, unique offenses that are very difficult to defend.
And Kai Thomas is going to go scoot in for his 3rd touchdown. So Thomas with 3 touchdowns, Juhal with 3 touchdowns, all rushing. And that's going to bring the score up to 38-0 with 5:28 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Did you get your 50-50?
I did not
We
get
didn't
my-
get our
no, I didn't
50-50.
get
What
my
was
50.
the?
I don't know. I just heard the number. There's a pretty decent crowd for the morning game,
Yeah.
so I mean, would have been a nice little
Did
prize
you see
there.
some of those 50-50? We were at the Canucks game the
Oh,
other day, and you can,
that's
when you are able to buy tickets
Yeah.
online, it's like
Do you remember
80
before you
grand.
could? Do you remember before when you couldn't buy it online? Like it was just you had to be there. And I remember I went to one of the last games of the year, the last game of the home game or whatever, and they do that big one. And Goosen.
Go.
Oh, Gosen.
Gosen. Thank
Gosen.
you,
Sorry.
Coach Ken. Thanks for that. I got a text
Sorry,
here. And
Josh.
hey, we apologize. We're going to butcher some names up
I
here
screw up my
today,
own names
and,
sometimes,
and mine.
Yeah, and yours. I mean, I screw up everybody's name,
Yeah, but Coach Ken sent us a little text with the enunciation. So Gosen.
Yeah. Well, it's different when you don't get the player and you're you're just flying on the seat of your pants. You're kind of sound that one out. Sounds like about that. We do apologize, Josh. We'll try to get that better for you.
Well, finally got a chance to carry the ball, so we could call his name
Yeah, we could call his name now.
instead of handing the ball off. So, a product of the Langley Community Football Program. So, nice job of again commanding this offense and having a great, obviously a great season for the Langley Saints.
Eisenhower with the return here, and he's going to be stopped up at about the, let's say 26-yard line. So that's where the Maroons will start their drive here.
Yeah, and again, showing the passion for football. We've got lots, how much football is going on today? I know Simon Fraser is playing today. The Langley Rams, of course, are playing the mighty Saskatoon Hilltops out at McLeod Stadium.
Yeah.
We've got all these games going on here. I know there's a lot of community football games going on.
The Rams almost beat them last year.
And we've got, yeah, exactly.
Right. So and the Hilltops are, that is like a team to. I mean, I don't know what the national title championship count is on them, but they seem to be winning it almost every year or every second year.
Yeah,
for sure.
Coach Sargent and the Hilltop, 5 in a row, I believe it is for the Hilltops. So let's see if the Langley Rams can kind of stop that juggernaut today. But again, such a great time. We got the big games tomorrow in the CFL. Of course, the BC Lions are not in it, but the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are playing my Saskatchewan Roughriders. And if I get a chance, if the Riders win, I'm thinking of booking that ticket to Calgary for the Grey Cup. It's obviously great festivities and people that remember Grey Cups, of course, being in this great stadium and how much fun the Grey Cup is. But what a time to be a football fan. I know we've got, again, Jeremy Kahn out there and who is the ultimate football coach, football fan. He's got it all going on right now. He's got college football on TV. So, Jeremy, what game are you watching on college football on TV? Well, because, of course, there's the semifinals but also Canadian college. Calgary and McMaster against Acadia and Montreal today are also playing. So the semifinals for youth sport.
Yeah.
College football on TV. You guys on the iPad. So he's watching us on the iPad. Thank you, Jeremy. And our game, and he's watching his own game film
on Huddle.
And he's got double duty because he coaches both the JVs and the senior team. So which many of the coaches do. So Jeremy, you're awesome.
Thanks, Jeremy, for all that. By the way, did you watch that LSU Alabama game?
Yeah, I
last
didn't.
week?
I didn't because I was at another game.
Oh. So that was Williamson. I thought he stretched it far enough for a first down, but it looks like they're going to mark him just short. So fourth and short here.
Come on, Maroons, let's go. We got 3 minutes to get in the end zone. Let's finish your
season off
great.
strong.
Yeah, your great season. And for a lot of these guys, Mike, it's their last football game. And I don't know if you saw my post, but a couple of weeks ago I posted a great reposted. Of course, wasn't my initial post, but I reposted something from somebody from down in the States talking about the game of football and how. When you play, a lot of these guys are going to be playing their last football game, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of football to be played if somebody's not going to carry on and, play junior football or play midget football after they finish their high school careers. There's flag football, touch football, but it's not the same as putting on your helmet and shoulder pads and getting out there, thinking of the old Kenny Chesney song, right? The old country song of the boys. Boys in the country song. Come
I
on,
can't
it's
even
from
think
a few
about it.
years. We'll.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Boys of Fall. There
Boys
you
of
go.
Fall, that's what it
So
was, yeah.
if you haven't listened to the Boys of Fall,
That's it.
and you get a chance between games. Here, you get a chance to get on and listen to the Boys of Fall. Kenny Chesney, a great song and great video. I'll call it a video. So
Yes,
the song.
Williamson, I don't know if he got this one or not. Oh, there's a flag down though. But like you were saying, like with this being the last, I remember after my last junior game, I knew I wasn't going to school. I wasn't going anywhere. I didn't have any offers to go to SFU or anything. I didn't really want to take my pads off, because that's the last time. And it's a funny story. About 2 years ago, one of my friends, her son was going to Seaquam, and so he's playing for the Seaquam Seahawks at the time, and so he had his gear there, and I actually put it on just to kind of have that feel again. Like I can't even play football anymore just because I just once you like lose the pad feel, I don't know, I can't do it anymore. It doesn't. I've kind of lost it, I guess. I love watching it. I love everything about the game. I just can't play it anymore. It's just that sad feeling of playing flag football is just different for me.
No, it really is.
That contact feeling in there, right? So. Yeah,
exactly. It's tough. Your last game, I remember my last game when I played for Simon Fraser. It was against UBC. We lost that game at Old Empire Stadium in the pouring rain. The UBC, of course, had one of the greatest football teams ever to play college football. That '82 championship team, and we lost to them in the Shrum Bowl at Empire Stadium, and it was definitely a sad day.
So turnover on downs for Fulton there, and this will be Juhal, and he's going to bounce it out to the left side, and he breaks one tackle, and then dragged out of bounds by Quade Willett, who's been in on a lot of tackles today. So that'll bring first down for the Langley Saints with 2:51 to go here in the fourth quarter.
If you get a chance, the post that I was talking about, starting off with, if you've never played football, you could never truly understand what it means to put those shoulder pads and the helmet on for the last time. So I just posted it on my story. It's on my Instagram. So just Jay Prepchuk is my Instagram. You get a chance to post lots of great football stuff on there, and you get a chance to add me if you can, and chat with me if you need. If you have any questions, lots of young folks out there. I get messages from coaches and young players. Of course, I coach right now at UBC, but I've been a high school counselor for many years, so a lot of these players, Kieran Davies included, we had long chats over the last couple of years about where he's going to continue his football and the proper courses, the proper classes to take, making sure that you have your academics straight, and making sure you're taking the right courses to get into the university you want to get into or the faculty that you want to get into. So again, feel free to send me a message anytime.
And was that Gosen? That was Gosen.
There you go.
Touchdown.
He's got on the board for him and running
Gosen,
that option
he's
play.
excited. He's like, yeah. Finally, someone else besides Thomas and Juhal. But like you're saying with Garrett Davies there, I coached a kid he's playing at Utah Valley right now in the NCAA for basketball. I mean,
Very
being
cool.
6'11" kind of helps too. But in going into his grade 10 year, we were, hey, you got to take school serious too. You can't just, we want you to live in the gym. We want you to get up shots and do all your thing. But you got to remember that you're not going to go anywhere if you don't have the grades, because you could be the best player in the world, and if you don't have the grades to do it, it's either going to be a longer, harder road, or it's going to be a road that's not going to be able to be accomplished. So
yeah, exactly.
He smartened up, and I mean, he wasn't a bad student in grade 8 and 9, but he wasn't getting like top marks, and he graduated with a high B average and was able to signed at Mercer, and then now he just transferred over to Utah Valley. So
great, congratulations,
making a good
Coach. That's exciting for you
career.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I actually went down to Mercer. It was the first time I've ever been to Atlanta, and that was a trip and a half. I could stay. I loved it though. I wanted to go back. So, but going out to Mercer just outside of Atlanta was a hell of a trek, but
well worth it.
Man, it was well worth it though. And and the southern food, you know, you gotta
You gotta love
southern
that.
food.
Well, I
You gotta
tell you,
love
the only
southern
time that I'm gonna probably be in Atlanta in my life is on my way to the Masters, which is on my bucket
Yeah.
list. And
food. That's on my bucket list too.
big
Yeah.
golfer guy, of course, and getting a little off track here, but you know, it's hey, you love sports, right?
Yeah.
So, and of course, being the golfer that I am, it would be nice to be at Augusta, Georgia, and you know, see the greatest tournament in golf history, of course.
Well, when you get to Atlanta, just take in the biggest airport in North America. That thing is huge.
Bigger than Chicago too?
It's the
Really?
biggest
Oh, I didn't
airport
know that.
in North America, and for plane traffic too. It's the hub that everything comes into. But it's crazy. It's a massive airport. Back on track here. Ghostin about to kick it off, and we got 57 seconds left in this ball game, and this will be Seth Pallister, and he's gonna look, and there's nice hit there by number 18 Jordan Bowes. And Pallister's a little slow to get up, and he's that one.
Hey, Jordan Bowles, nice job. Good hustle down on that kickoff.
Yeah.
And
And he fought through a block
you-
from behind too to still make the tackle.
yeah, he really did. And, you know, again, you got these guys on special teams that are out there digging away and working away, and that's the great thing about football, again, is, you know, it's all the facets of the game. It's not just the guys that are starting. It's not, you know, just the Kai Thomases or the Kieran Davies that, you know, lead to a successful football team. You've got to have all those guys. Even this year, you might be second string, you might be third string, but you're really going to have an impact, because, you know, the second, third string guys, as you know, they're kind of the show team, they're kind of the scout team, they're the guys that are, you know, don't always get the glory, but they're working hard in practice, they're still sweating, and they're still freezing cold out there at this time of the year. And you know, I really commend a lot of the guys that are the second team guys that are out there and continuing to play and play hard. So, and it's good, you know, the first team guys, you know, hopefully the first team guys are playing hard to get up, to get a big score up, so that the second team guys can get into a football game.
Yeah, and Jordan Bowes is a grade 11, so he's going to be taking over for all these guys. And here's a deep ball down the field, looking for Karan Malhotra, and unable to connect to that one. But that's a nice, you know, Quinn Williamson throws a nice ball there.
He really does, yeah. And like you said earlier, that it's unfortunate they didn't really have time to, you know, get that ball, you know, to get the deep pass away a little bit earlier. He could have maybe stretched that defense earlier in the ball game.
And
But, you know,
open
hey,
the middle.
you look, if you went through, I know Coach Schellert and his football team can go home tonight and say, you know what, we put it all out there, right? You come up against a team like the Langley Saints, and kind of what we expected a little bit in talking to the coaches, you know, before the football game. Coach Schellert, we've got to control the ball by throwing.
Speak of the devil.
There's Coach Mullis
Mullis.
down there.
He's here a little early.
He's
Whoa.
usually, he's usually up in the announcer's booth.
Yeah, he
but,
is. But now he's back coaching. So.
Yeah, with his South Delta Sun Devils there again in the last football. That's this is going to make a long day for
Mr.
Coach Mullis. But again, my offensive coordinator at Simon Fraser University in 1979. Taught a lot about football. Dave Pierce, Jerry Mullis, Frank Smith, George Zarelli. Very fortunate to have some excellent coaches in my day.
He taught me a lot about sarcasm.
Oh.
You know, and actually, it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and that's the one thing about a coach. Like, you got to have that boundary, but at the same time, he made it really well, where he can make fun of a situation or something that happened, but not in a hurtful way, in like that bullying kind of style way, and that it's sarcasm way, right? And it's pretty funny. So I use that kind of style now a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and Mullis was really good at that. You know, like the old slapstick kind of stuff, sarcasm. So.
Gotcha. Hey, fans! Again, real quickly today, the next game, Lord Tweedsmuir and New Westminster, are going to be an excellent football game. 12 o'clock kickoff, and 3 other games, of course, today. So 2:30 Kelowna against Vancouver College Fighting Irish. 5 o'clock Mount Doug, St. Thomas More. 7:30 Notre Dame and South Delta. So get out to BC Place. And again, tonight, GW Graham hosting Holy Cross out there in Chilliwack. Lots of great football to come today.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for that Kelowna VC game. VC's been looking like a dominant force this year too, and That Kelowna team is scary.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
They've got, and you know, the scary thing too for the opposition is that Kelowna team has a lot of them are grade 11s.
Yeah, and that's the other.
And they're
scary
good
thing.
basketball. I think a lot of
They're-
those guys,
yeah,
there's some
they're-
basketball guys
yeah.
there too that play. And I know that Vernon.
Well, see, I'm kind of hoping like me. I kind of hope Vernon keeps going on this long run. 'Cause,
Right.
You know their basketball guys aren't going to get as good of a start. I mean, I'm not going to see Vernon.
I'll tell
till the end
Bob
of-
Corbin
yeah,
and Malcolm
yeah,
Reed
yeah,
and those guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell those
Tell them
guys.
those, yeah.
Maybe they're listening in today.
Yeah.
Malcolm Reed, a couple of
Yeah.
great young football. Liam Reed and
Yeah.
Rowan Reed, a couple of great football players for that Vernon Panther.
Oh,
Sean
they-
Smith does a great job with that football program.
They almost did the double duty last year with winning the football and the basketball. They lost in the final last year to
Right.
North Delta for basketball. So that's the final score. 46-0 Langley Saints over the Clarence Fulton Maroons. Myself, Mike Stoneberg, and my color commentator with all the wealth of knowledge, Mr. Jay Pracha. So thank you for joining us. We got, like he said, New West versus Tweedsmuir in the next game. So feel free to grab yourself a drink, and that game is scheduled to get underway in about 27 minutes. And we'll see you then.
Who signs off like this? Donnie Taylor on Sports
Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want the good life every good night, you're a hot one to hold. 'Cause you don't even know. I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want your sex and your affection when they're holding you close. 'Cause you don't even know. I can make your hands clap. Every night when the stars come out, am I the only living soul around? Need to believe you could hold me down, 'cause I'm in need of something good right now. We could be screaming till the sun comes out, and when we wake we'd be the only sound. Get on my knees and say your friend change round. That I can make your hands clap. I can make your hands clap. I can make your hands clap. 'Cause you're such a pretty, twisted
there's nobody by my side. I need ya, I need ya, I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, don't let me down, down, down. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind now, yeah. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind now, yeah. I need ya, I need ya, I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Yeah, don't let me down. Yeah, don't let me down. Don't let me down. So don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the BC High School Football Championship quarterfinal matchup. The New Westminster Hyaks versus the Lord Tweedsmuir Panthers. Our referees for today's game. Head referee is Walter Becker. Umpires Frank Roberto. Linesman Gord Massey. Line judge Ted Beringa. And back judge Matt Kutney.
Welcome back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For game number 2 on the docket today, and that is the first of the AAA varsity quarterfinal games here at the BC Place for the BC High School Championship Subway Bowl 2019 between the New Westminster Hyaks in their white jerseys with black numbers and silver helmets, and the Lord Tweedsmuir Panthers in their green jerseys with white numbers and white helmets. Myself, Mike Stoneberg, with my color analyst Jay Prepchuk. Jay, we've had a pretty good morning so far, and this is set up to be a doozy.
Wow, is it ever? This is the second, this is kind of a rematch from earlier in September. These teams played, and Lord Tweedsmuir won that game, but both coaches, talked about the fact that New West did outgain them. So, yeah, this is going to be a great game.
Oh, now it's a misplay on the punt here. Goes in the end zone, so that's a touchback. Lucky for New West, though, because that could have been ugly, because Tweedsmuir was swarming Taran Birdie there.
Very, very fortunate there. The all-star Taran Birdie, who we'll be talking about a lot tonight, is, you know, a little bit of a miscue on the kickoff return. And again, as we said, you know, being in BC Place, a little bit tougher to judge the football on specials and so on. So let's see how that plays out.
Andros Dancy at quarterback here, and he's going to get up to about the 24-yard line. Coming into this game, New West ranked 4th, Lower Tweedsmuir 5th in the provincial football rankings.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, at this time of the year, does it really matter,
Well,
right? I
rankings,
mean,
yeah.
you're
You can-
playing,
yeah.
and we're going at it. So, again, New Westminster starting off with a trips formation, trying to stretch out that Lord Tweedsmuir defense, running a little inside counter trap play for 4 yards on first down.
And like you were saying, these two teams did meet early in the season. September 6th to be exact, with Tweedsmuir coming up with a 15-6 win over New West at Mercer Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. And a big move last week. Of course, we did the game last week. Jake Elliott and myself did the New Westminster Terry Fox game last week. And, of course, bit of a blowout for New Westminster. But the big move, of course, was Farhan Lalji and Andrew McKechnie made the big move on offense at quarterback. You know, changing to Andros Dancy, and Dancy did a good job in leading the Hawks to victory last week. But how about that for, you know, a big change-up in the first
Yeah.
playoff game, changing your quarterback.
That's a big one. Dancy drops back to pass. He's got a receiver wide open over the middle, and that was number 80, Balraj Munjal, and he's able to bring that in and take the hit from Terrell Jones, who will also be saying a lot, talking a lot about today from North Tweedsmuir, and first down there for the Hayaks.
Yeah, exactly. And Dancy doing a nice job of just drilling that slant pass in over the middle for the first down for the Hayaks. Again, such an important series to start off football games for both football teams on offense.
Dancy, I believe his older brother was on the team that won the provincial title? I can't remember clearly. I know there was a Dancy because I remember calling about it, and I think it was his older brother was on that team or the year before. But this is definitely the younger brother, and you see that a lot. You see the older
Yep,
brothers, and then the
absolutely.
younger brothers start coming
Yep.
up.
And another thing you see a lot of is New Westminster going procedure, a little bit of movement.
procedure.
They like to come out of that, as everybody knows that have played or seen New West before. They like to come out of the huddle
Yeah, and
really
full
quickly,
sprint. Yeah.
full sprint, and run a play. But of course, they need all players set, you know, for at least a second before the snap of the football. So again, procedure, and Farhan talks about it every week. How they've got to nullify the penalties. 1st and 15.
Dancy with two receivers to the far side, and this is going to be handed off to Grayson. And never mind. Sorry, he even got me. I thought that was in Grayson's hand. It's not. Dancy kept it, and he looks like he's going to have enough for a first down.
Well, not surprising that you know, with that New Westminster offense.
Yeah, it's gotten me a couple times every time I do a New West game.
Exactly. Well, at least it's not. At least there's good lighting here, and they're wearing their white jerseys.
Yeah.
When they wear their, you
Oh,
know, their gunmetal
yeah.
grays and their gray numbers or black numbers,
Yeah.
it's really hard to see what's going on, right? So we've got a little bit of an advantage, but a very well executed play, faking the jet sweep to their right-hand side. Little quarterback counter back to the inside for a gain of 5 yards for the Hayaks.
Dancy with the motion here, and he's going to look out, and this is Grayson, and he's going to be brought down by number 11, Jackson Stebbings.
Yeah, and Grayson, of course, was injured last week, so they didn't have him last week in the football game. And it's talking to Farhan, you know, during the week. It's certainly a pleasure, obviously, to have their leading rusher back in the football game, getting him, a quick pass right away. Andros getting the ball out of his hands quickly on a little bubble screen to that tailback.
Yeah, getting him in the game early, especially coming off an injury. That's the one thing you want to do, is you want to get that feel back into it. Dancy with the ball, and he's going to fake the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. Makes a nice little move there at the line, but he's still going to be wrapped up for a loss here. As number 50 for the Panthers, Dakota Lapine, able to wrap him up there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 7 here, and it looks like a punting. We're going to get our first punt here from New West.
Yeah, Dakota doing a nice job in there as an all-star, of course, for the Lord Tweedsmuir Panthers, a veteran of this football team, 6'1", 230-pound, grade 12, doing a good job of staying home and not going with that jet sweep fake. So 4th down for the Hayaks.
And in the kick, I can't see the number.
Taryn Birdie, it'll be it's
Yep,
Birdie,
Birdie,
and
yep,
he's,
Taryn
you know,
Birdie.
it's interesting because Coach Thornton for the Panthers told me early in the week that Birdie can certainly kick the ball and turn the field position quickly.
And this is Reese Houston on the return, and he gets a favorable, nice return out to the 31. New West had, believe it, I think I'm right. They had a guy a couple years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, that was a really good kicker. I can't, the name's slipping my tongue. He went somewhere. But I remember calling games in New West, and he was. Thanks. And I remember him. I was calling the game at Mercer, and he kicked a 40, 50-yard
Oh, right.
field goal.
Yes, I do remember that.
And
Yep.
he was it's rare to see that in BC high school football, that you get the guys that are the kickers.
Absolutely. It's nice to have that advantage, though, of having a good kicker. As Tweedsmuir starts off.
Keyshawn Dorsey. Now, with the school shifts, right, with Salish opening up, this is probably one of the smallest rosters for Tweedsmuir, because Tweedsmuir used to be one of the biggest schools in the Fraser Valley Lower Mainland area, and now has been reduced a little bit just till the whole
numbers
shift. Numbers
the
weird
pool
joke.
of players.
Yeah,
is
because
certainly
they all kind of got pulled from Clayton Heights and Salish and all that stuff to make into 3 schools. So it's quite the small roster that Tweedsmuir is rolling with here. Oh, nice. Oh, ball. That's out because of the ground. That's out because of the ground. And that was Hayden Stumper on the carry. But trying to dive for extra yards there, and ball pops out, but it was caused by the ground.
Yeah, Nick Kawaza, the experienced offensive coordinator for Lord Tweedsmuir, comes out in a slot I formation, running a toss sweep to the outside, cracking back with the slot back, gaining a good gain of 6 yards. 3rd down, 2 yards to go for the Panthers.
Another coach I played for, Nick Kawaza.
There you go. Yeah, another great man. Yeah, great football man.
Yep. And that's going to be overthrown, looking for Hayden Stompert, and that was Terrell Jones.
Yeah, kind of like the last game. I mean, interesting that late in the season, how these teams, we saw it with the Maroons, of course, the last game, how they're switching their quarterbacks and receivers around and just trying to get the right combination. And when I talked to Coach Thornton earlier in the week, he was the one that mentioned, just switching guys around and getting Terrell Jones a little bit in at receiver, a great athlete, and putting Keyshawn Dorsey, who's been playing a lot better at quarterback, getting him more reps at quarterback, which is what we saw in this first drive.
And Terrell Jones with a kick here, and picked up there by Deacon Young, but thought he was going to let it go, but realized that he probably would have put himself in a lot worse situation as Tweedsmuir had that punt kind of swallowed up. And
yeah, we can see already, special teams have been important for as far as field position is concerned. When New Westminster starts with the football on their own 12-yard line, and the first drive of the game, they were deep in their own
20,
end as well, right?
So this is two back-to-back drives now where, like you're saying, New West is starting late, are deep in their area. So Tweedsmuir right now winning the field position battle. We'll see, because I have a feeling this is going to be a knock-em, sock-em game that's going to come down at the end. I think
no question, this is going to be
really great programs in the BC high school football. So Dancy under center. Looks like Michael Udo on in the backfield, and looks like Faron's going to call a timeout here.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision. It looks like maybe again a little bit of early game jitters. You're in BC place, strange territory. The kids are all wound up. They're kind of excited. They're maybe just not getting the signals in properly. Good job by the experienced head coach Farhan Lalji, Andrew McKechnie, the offensive coordinator, to call the timeout and just make sure they get settled.
And like you said, new quarterback, right? Like
you're
changing up your quarterback, and now you're running your backup. So these mistakes might happen because he's not in the making those right flow calls, you want to say, and on that same page as the coaches too.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see as Farhan comes out of the huddle here, as he has it in the right. The right play in, and then here comes Dancy with Mike Udo in the back. Udo gets the ball, cuts up to the near side, and he's going to get hit and wrapped up there by a couple Tweedsmuir Panthers, and that's going to be about a gain of 5, so a good gain on first down for New West there.
Yeah, exactly. Coming out in a twin formation, so 2 wide receivers to their left.